Welcome in, chat. We are getting ready for an FNCS NA Central Group 1 FNCS Major 3.
I missed y'all so much. It is great
go.
to be back. Here we are, Major number 3, the last stop before the Global Championship. Man, it is crazy to think we are almost at the end. It feels like we kind of just got started, but here we are, Major number 3, that last chance for many trios to secure that spot to the Global Championship, and it is stressful, to say the least, but there's two people that I know that can keep my nerves nice and calm, nice and chill. It's Kelly Link, it's Vivid, my friends, Major number 3. We're about to kick things off. How are you guys feeling?
I'm good. I'm so excited. You know, it feels like the year just started, but I also can't believe that we're already at Major 3 and going to be rounding out the teams that are going to go to Global Championships. It's a bit of a mixed feeling. I'm so excited to get the Global Championships, but I'm also sad that the FNCS is almost over.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? Everybody says time flies when you're having fun. Well, time goes pretty slow when there's no FNCS around. It's been like, what, 3-4 months since Major number 2. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that we've been living without FNCS for that long. But Major number 3, Zeke, there is a lot to talk about.
That's right, man. Why don't we take a look back at kind of what got us to this point? We had this nice little roadmap for you guys. As you remember, Majors 1 and 2 we wrapped up, and then recently we took to the Pro-Am. It was super awesome, and now here we are, just one major away from the Global Championship in Lyon, France. Oh my gosh, I'm going to France, Mom! It's gonna be a great time. Man, I think the thing...
Lyon, France for the Global Championship.
In Major number 2,
go.
we had 3 spots going to the Global Championship. Now we only have 2. So where the floodgates were open last Major, they are that much scarier coming into this. I don't even know what to make of that, Kelly.
I'm sad that you didn't say the Foxy floodgates have opened, but regardless, yeah, Pollo, Agers, Acorn taking away Major number 1 with Peterbot's trio also joining them for that ticket, and then we had 3 other huge teams join for Major 2, which was Clix's trio, Reeds, and Visuals, but now we still have so many big names that want to fill out this screen right here, Major 3 qualified trios, and with only 2 spots available, Vivid, it is do or die right now. Everyone is going to be pulling out whatever they can to make sure they get those coveted spots.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary, right? We were talking about it last Major. It's like, you really want to qualify during Major number 2. I mean, the most spots being available, and then if you don't qualify, you're going to have to go to that last chance in Major number 3. But then it's like, oh, well, our last chance to qualify for Globals also has only 2 spots available. Just super, super competitive.
And before they can even get into the Global Championships, they got to get to the Grand Finals. And let's talk about how these trios are going to be getting into the Grand Finals in case you were just watching for the first time. One, hello, welcome to the FNCS. We've already had the play-in stages where we found our top 99 trios that have made their way into the group stages where they split into 3 separate groups. From here, that's what we're going to be watching today. And you're going to be watching out for 10 teams. For each team that gets a victory royale over the 5 games today, they automatically make their way into the Major Finals, and they will no longer be playing in the games left. By the end of the day, the top 5 teams from placement will also be joining those other 5 trios. But Vivid, there's still one more opportunity for trios to make their way into the Grand Finals.
Yeah, that last chance qualifier for groups 1, 2, or 3 don't work out for you. We'll see you then.
We don't want to take it that far, though, right? We want to try and secure that spot here and now if possible, but maybe you haven't been playing Fortnite. You're not sure what's going on. Maybe this is your first time. Hi, it's great to have you here. Let's talk about the meta. What can our viewers expect to see, guys? I mean, there's brand new POIs. There's a new loophole. There's medallions. There's boons. There's a hero rank. But many of these trios, Kelly, have their eyes set on Demon's Domain.
Oh, and not just a lot of trios. The 2 big trios for North American Central. Of course, I'm talking about Peterbot versus Pollo. What a story these 2 trios have had.
All right, chat. Put it down in the chat. Who y'all want to see win it today?
In the FNCS, a team will ego out another team, but when the 2 biggest teams in the region ego each other, well, it looks like they're going to be staying here in Demon's Domain, and there's no confusion as to why. It is that medallion, and then, of course, the Mythic Enhanced Sniper Rifle as well, Vivid.
Yeah, the 2 best teams in the region always going to want to go for the best loot. The medallion's so good, right? Being able to regen you up to 50 shield, kind of replacing the minis, kind of freeing up an inventory slot. And we've talked about it plenty of times before. We all know how valuable some of those inventory slots are. But there's actually another medallion on the island that is kind of worth going for. That Rift Island that's going to be spawning. Fighting the boss up there is going to net you some weapons as well, but then the medallion that kind of allows you to not only go invisible, but also when you come out of a sprint jump, you're going to go a little bit further, right? And oh my gosh, giving that ability to some of our pro players who love to play aggressive. I'm looking at players like Peterbot, players like Pollo, right? It is scary.
I mean, it's very apropos that the boss's name is Core, because this medallion is very core to our top teams right now. The solo clutches that come out of this medallion, and I know I'm skipping the mid-game right now. The in-game solo clutches that I've seen with this medallion is just so exciting to watch. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of encompassed what this whole season's been about. It's just exciting. These end games are so different than what we've had throughout the year.
Okay, I like that. You're highlighting the end game. Why don't we take it back to the beginning, the mid game? Let's talk about this brand new economy.
You ain't lying, chat. I'm telling you, them in games have been something else here lately.
Why are we doing this? What's the purpose of that?
Well, you have all these beautiful hero caches throughout the map that give you all these incredible loots. Obviously, starting from C, it's going to be the lower tier loot, but then going all the way up to S, you can get some incredible items, including the hero items as well. And it's quite easy actually going up from C all the way to S. There's various things you can do throughout the map to be able to increase your hero rank, to be able to unlock these caches, much like the Sprite Shines right here.
Yeah, and I've always kind of loved to look at Fortnite Competitive as a game of time investment, right? In these hero ranks, kind of having this list of tasks you can do or quote unquote invest time into, and then at the end of it being able to reward some of that time that you spent with loot. Love stuff like that around the map.
You know what else I love, Vivid? It's mobility. Guys, there is so much, you too. There is so much mobility in this season. I mean, do you guys remember Grim Gay? You guys remember being able to dash? We are back at that again, but this time from a little sprite with a little mask. Who is he? Someday I hope to find out.
Yeah, the Sprite Dash that we have right here, what I really like about this item, and that is kind of missing from a lot of the other items in the game, is that it's actually an AoE item, so it's just one person has to hold it, but then everyone in the trio is able to actually get the benefit of those dashes, similar to the Grimgate, like you said. But my favorite item, Vivid, is definitely the Surf Cube. What we've seen from these aggressive W key players in the early to mid game with that the Surf Cube is absolutely devastating.
Yeah, of course, Surf Cube very, very good, but I can almost guarantee you all of our trios, all of our players today will easily replace that item with the Mist form if they can go ahead and find it. And if you can get 3 of these on a trio, it makes your rotates just that much easier, right? Go ahead and turn into a bird, fly to wherever you think you should place yourself in the next zone. But it's like, oh, well, let's think about Fortnite Competitive. Usually when you make those rotates with some of these mobility items, you take so much damage. Not this time around, because it's going to make it so that way you actually cannot take damage, which just creates so many incredible moments.
Meta defining. I cannot wait to see the Mist form in action. And when I talk about meta defining, there's also 2 names I have to kind of pair with that. It's Monster D-Face. It's Jacob PR. They're your casters. That's right. We got a lot to look forward to this season. The hero ranks really shaping up a whole new dynamic for Fortnite right now. And then this loot pool, nothing like we've seen this year.
Yeah, everything's kind of been shaken up this season around, even including some of our teams. A lot of our top teams might have stayed the same, but we have a huge mix-up as you continue to go down that roster list, even in today's group stages. And so you kind of look at teams like Acorn, Agers, Poyo. When are they going to qualify? Is it a game win? Is it consistency? But I'm looking at some of those underdogs, Monster. When are they going to finally punch their ticket to finals?
It's going to be tough, right? We're talking about a season, essentially, that we've had limited set lobby opportunities, right? If you weren't out there really putting your nose into the scrim scene, then you will be coming out the gate struggling here. So we'll see who's been putting in that work here as we're starting to look up and gear up here for just the first group stages. I mean, but it's obvious, Jacob, we got a couple favorites, like you mentioned, Acorn, of course. And, you know, again, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it definitely is. You kind of look at those big game-winning teams. I'm also looking at the consistency. Oliver OG, history has it on his side. Power, Blue Zonda, I got to think they got it as well. But there's so many more teams to break down. Zeke, let us know what those teams are.
Incredibly insightful, and I agree, right? In case you maybe didn't know, we're playing for one of 2 things. Either a Victory Royale, which means, hey, you're good, you don't have to play anymore, next time we'll see you in the grand finals, or through consistency. That's what Jacob was talking about, right? So if we end the day in that top 5, were making it through as well. Now let's bring up our lobby list. Who are we seeing here in group number 1? There's a lot of big names, and of course, little Timmy, look at the top left of your screen. Agers,
Let's see. Koyo.
They are competing here in group number 1. Guys, I mean, I feel like we should and can and...
I say Poyo's going to win the first matchup, chat. What y'all think?
Right? I mean, it's Poyo.
Yeah, 100%. You know, potentially uncontested over in Demon's domain, but with these group stages, you never really know. And honestly, I always say that half of esports is the story, and who has a better story than Poyo, Acorn, and Agers? Both Poyo and Acorn being dropped by their teammates at the end of last year, joining together, and when a lot of people kind of wrote them out, they go off and win Major 1. But then Major 2, a little bit of a step back, getting 5th place, which otherwise is absolutely phenomenal. But from this trio, a little bit surprising, but we've seen this climb up from Poyo. In the play-ins, he got 165 eliminations just by himself. This is a trio that everyone is looking to not just walk away with a win today, but Vivid to potentially walk away in 1st place for Major 3.
I mean, you're saying that everybody's kind of looking towards them. I'm wondering what this trio is looking forward to doing this major, right? Are they actually going to be going for that win right now? Are they kind of shifting their focus towards like the early game, right? And winning that early game engagement that you were kind of talking about, going up against Peter Botch trio, of course. Is that going to make it that much harder for them to kind of win? Are they kind of looking towards globals to kind of make sure they have an uncontested spot there? Who knows? But I can almost guarantee you today their focus will definitely be winning a game.
Man, I cannot wait. I'm sure we will see both of those trios in the grand finals. But first, I want to talk about another trio. Let's bring that live list back up once more. Center of your screen, Taki, Isho, and Vert. Now, obviously, like if you've been following this, you've heard the name Vert before. But what about Taki? What about Isho? How has this trio been performing up to this point?
I mean, they've honestly actually been performing quite well for a new trio. Vert going all the way back to 2019, even winning an FNCS 2020 solo championships for NA West. You know, he's been a player for such a long time, now joined by Taki and Isho, relatively newer players. And since they've been joining up together, they've had some pretty good performances. 10th place in the last FNCS finals, and also big shout outs to two of the players here recently signed by Soren organization. And clearly after the performances that we've seen from them in the play-ins and just this season in general, I can understand why organizations are kind of turning their focus onto them. They have such great aggression early and mid-game, and honestly, I'm a little bit surprised about how aggressive they are, but it seems to be working out for them, being able to take down some pretty big teams recently.
Yeah, I mean, what a first showing, right? Making it to your first FNCS finals and then getting 10th place. There is so much to build on for that trio right there. I'm sure they're going to go ahead and make it in the grand finals today. I'm excited to see what they do there.
Oh my gosh, man. There's just so many names. There's just so many names. And, you know, if you maybe didn't have a chance to watch EU earlier, you already know that this competition is crazy. And again, I'm just going to continue to stress this until like the final day of grand finals. Okay, this is the last chance. Okay, we need to make it to grand finals to try and secure a spot going to the global championship. However, one last trio to talk to you guys about as we bring up that live list one final time.
For those of y'all that are hanging out this Saturday, we are doing a gift card giveaway.
There's a trio on this second page that has not secured themselves a spot. And if they don't, I'm not going to globals. Okay, it's Booga, it's threats, it's craze. Come on, man. Is it even globals without Booga, Kelly? Is it even gonna be globals?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, Zeke, and hopefully we find themselves in our top 5 list. And we've seen
Chat, who are y'all rooting for to win this? The first match.
In Major 1 and Major 2, but just not close enough to be able to clutch out that global championship spot. Now joined, or I should say rejoined by Craze. They've had some pretty good performances so far, even taking down the likes of Poyo's trio during mid-game fights that we saw during the play-ins. They clearly have the aggression. They have a great drop spot landing over in Utopia City uncontested. We've already seen that they have some good placements throughout the Div Cups, but is that going to be enough for the grand finals?
I mean, Booga himself made it to 25 total FNCS finals, only ever missing out on one, trailing Kanata in that regard, right? He just consistently makes these finals. I'd be not surprised at all. In fact, I'll go ahead and say it's probably about a 99.9% chance that they go ahead and make it into the finals.
Why would you say that? Why would you curse them?
Because,
you know what? That's not my script says that they're in the finals. So I'm going to stick to the script that I wrote. Guys, we're getting closer here to starting off the competition. I was kind of curious to get your thoughts. So obviously, again, this being that final chance to qualify, less spots through at grand finals. How do you guys feel that, like, where the players' headspace at, right? Like, there's been pressure before, but like now it's got to be more than ever.
I think due to the nature of these group stages and how players can win, whether that's victory royales or placements, I think that we're going to see a potential heel off in games. And I mean, Vivid, I think that's something that we've kind of been seeing over the last few weeks.
I think just over the course of the day, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. This specific lobby has never happened before, so these teams are going to have to kind of learn in game number one what's going on around them and use it in the games following.
Adapt, adapt, adapt. Let's get into it, Fortnite fam. The competition kicks off right now.
We are here, Monster, at the precipice of game one of these group stages, FNCS Major 3. And one thing I got to really talk about and shine is there's 13 teams, even more so players that are looking.
All right, chat, drop some W's in the chat. Let's get it. Let's go. FNCS Major 3s. NAC Group 1. Let's go.
The story begins for some of those teams. Some of those players, Monster, over 13 of them are looking to punch their ticket to the grand finals, continue their journey, and start what could be the birth of a new star player on the region.
Has to be, right? And again, very limited set lobby opportunities all season long. You know, these are their, for some, first chances to really go toe-to-toe at a bulk of these draw spots. We saw early glimpses of what little areas will be contested. Most of those opportunities taking place for center map and leaning a little bit north to the west sides. Here, of course, we have a Flooded Frogs fight. Over on the opposite side, you got Liam already taking his kind of battle head-to-head with the opposite trio here, and they haven't gotten shields really to work with. There it is. I was going to say, what are they waiting for? But, of course, have to gather together for those slurp kegs, and now it's game time.
Say quick stat, 55, over half of the lobby, Monster, and resistance base is one of those spots contested. It's not easy to get an advantage. There's a lot of places do sneak around, a lot of nooks and crannies to hide. And Boogeyman quick, they are missing about some HP, but Liam's going to be the first one to go down in the entire fight. This is not the way you want to start your game one.
Got to be careful. That Twin Spire packs a big punch, big damage. You see it now, though. Players jumping into the box. Pay14 finding his tags, and they collapse quick on the opponents here. Pay gets rewarded with all.
You're hanging out. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and alert button. We'll be doing a gift card giveaway on Saturday.
This is a perfect start for their kind of initial kickoff, but remember, all that matters is a victory royale, right? You want to punch your way in and out of today's competition to go straight to finals.
Demon's domain, or I mean, the Fortnite community would call it Pollo's domain, Peterbot's domain. This is the contested fight that you know we've been seeing all off season long, but in the group stages, the teams kind of split into their each respective groups. Agers, Pollo, Acorn this time around are going to get it uncontested, and honestly, I don't know if that's good for the rest of the lobby, giving them a ton of time to formulate a plan, loot up, and then they get the extra superhero rank XP from that uncontested Demon's domain drop.
In some ways, it's like, just let it happen. It's inevitable, right? So we'll see them punching their way in and out. We'll have a lot to talk about that trio as we get into the grand finals weekend. But here in the group stages, it's nothing but another day in the office. Got a little fight going down right now, though. This is just outside of that resistance space. Furthermore, west here. Low ground team seems to be a little lost in the action right now as Amen not sure where the shots are coming from. And keep yourself exposed like that.
You can kind of even see, judging by the loadout, there's some missing bits of utility, some players only having ARs, no shotguns. This is a straight off-spawn scrappy fight between these two teams, and timing is of the essence. We already saw the resistance base, the dust settled over there, they're looting up. If they hear this noise, you know as well as I do, Monster, invitation or not, they're like, hey, this is a third-party opportunity. This is for us to get that early game storm surge, so that way we can start to dictate our own game plan rather than kind of forced to fight a team because the storm surge says so.
Things seem to be kind of simmering out here. Both trios likely contemplating of whether or not this is worth taking to the finish line right now. But it's up to the high ground team to go in and make that disengaged decision. For now, they're sitting, looking for opportunity. As Turbulence is just kind of sitting idly, almost signaling to the team like, hey, look, we don't want to even leave from here. You know, you have a chance, run away.
We don't gotta end this right now. Yeah, and that's exactly what you said. The high ground team has the one with basically all the flexibility, all the choices in the world. No one's going to be able to disengage until they say so, but you're seeing a lot of these early game scuffles all around the map, even for some high places, over towards Brutal Boxcars, just on the outskirts. Ford, Mako, Icy, box-to-box hole with another team, and they have one of them separated, and that's why they're trying to pounce, take the 3v1 while they can, and even with the shots coming in, that third party, you see a whole nother team on the eastern side of that Brutal Boxcars, because the zone, something you mentioned early on, is pulling in this direction, mainly towards the north. This is going to be a priority position.
Yeah, Mako's trio definitely needing some ammunition. They're going to look to finish up Luke here. Should be all she wrote. There it is, the first knock. So, Brutal Boxcar trio is forced to retreat. And this is all because of that Eastern team. Had they not put their influence in, I mean, Panda, Luke, and Veno X here, I guess, would have been full finished.
At least they're going to be able to kind of get a little bit of control over towards Brutal Boxcars, but you're seeing how active the game is overall. From Outpost, rotating up to Kappa, Rise.
William Cheese!
Just taking the fight to Jargu, Silic, and their trio. Luckily, it looks like one of them might have been able to survive, and that's going to be the saving grace for that team over towards...
You must eat cheese at 2 a.m. I'm just kidding. A bit.
Landing on you, and you're arguably up in that upper echelon of tier 2. Very notable trio fight right there, so unfortunate for them. Aviv, G Money, and Rise, of course, a team to look out for. Set to do well here. Another team, of course, to look out. Blake Diego, Oliver OG. Season after season, year after year now. Oliver continuing to show up at the final stages. I would, in the past, maybe put this as a team that could be a potential call, but now I think they're a shoo-in.
Yeah, I would agree with that one, especially since they're mainly getting in through a lot of consistency. A lot of these tournaments, they're playing these games in a finals-esque style lobby, even though some of the tournaments, some of the scrims don't necessarily end up like that. They're just staying true to their focus. To go back on over towards Brutal Boxcars, get a little bit more busy. You just have that shrine boss over here. You get a lot of superhero rank. You get a lot of different loot, ammo, med kits, minis, and the exotic weapon has a chance to drop. And that's where you're seeing a lot of the focal point end up in this direction towards Brutal Boxcars. Because even if a team isn't necessarily getting it for themselves, they're looking to see what scraps are left behind.
Yeah, but let's be honest, the best way to, of course, earn those hero ranks, you gotta take fights, find your damage. You kind of scrap by, of course, doing all the side objectives, but teams are gonna look to fight first, and Mako, Icy, and Void find out the hard way here as Northern lands on him, and Sandman comes from a side angle with 20 here, and they seem to have, I guess, the momentum in their side. Yeah, look at this, Mako down to 10 HP, cut off, and finished, and that's the power of the Sprite Dash there. You know, most players try to preserve them, right? You know, you don't want to burn them off too soon, but you play like that, Plenty, of course, showing how to do it, how to get it done.
Yeah, almost like a no-brainer sacrifice. If I use these two charges and it gets me elimination, definitely going to be worth. And that's 20. Northern, Sandman, they land at the Supernova Academy uncontested. So you see, as soon as any team is uncontested towards Supernova Academy, because of that rail that launches you over towards Brutal Boxcars, it inevitably gives you a free shot, a free opportunity to fight the team without them noticing, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Even with one elimination, they got full control. But still, all around Brutal Boxcars, you're seeing this, Mad and Monster and their trio just getting these eliminations, cleaning up what is left on these outskirts. And if not for the points, it's for the loot that they weren't able to get early on.
Surprised they don't even see Void there, so he's kind of laying low right now as they've just been hunted down. No breaks given to them. Madden, Liam, and Drizzy was that Eastern team fighting on the mountains. It was just a matter of time before they kind of rotated through, so see what all, of course, resulted from that. Booga, Threats, and Craze. Booga looking to make his, what was that Vivid pointed to at the top of the show? 26th or so FNCS Grand Finals here to come. Very big time for of course, Booga. One of the most consistent year after year, season after season. Just doesn't give up.
Yeah, it's the most in this lobby at 25 currently. Agers is actually going to be the second most with 22, along with Acorn with 22, seeing a lot of experience in this lobby. As the zone pulls and kind of centers up Utopia in the middle, that kind of gives them all the flexibility in the world. They don't have to rotate. They know from the north, the south, and the east, the teams are going to have to rotate into them, so they just kind of set up their triangle surge bases over towards Utopia to get as much of that storm surge as possible. Ishu, Taki, Vert, they land just towards the northeast of that Utopia city. And they typically are going to use this geyser. And instead of just once, because people are wondering right now, Monster, like, why? They're already in the sky. What are they waiting for? You double use this geyser. It gives you extra height. You're able to use it to get farther in towards the zone. So when we tune into them later on, Monster, I expect them to see probably center zone set up ready to go.
Yeah, it's one of those techniques carrying over from the last season. So you can see the optimization here coming through. One thing to think about, I know Kelly was hinting at a potential increase in heal-offs, but we also are seeing an increase in teams playing the Storm, right? The Mistform gives you that much more freedom to kind of play around and battle really inside of the zones. I'm thinking we'll see a lot more Storm sickness, if anything, come the end game, but give it a second there. Vert, Eshu, and Taki on the hunt once again, finding out Liam there. It's going to be one of two left in this trio.
Almost makes you wonder, did they just land on him from that double geyser? Probably so far away from his team. You see it on the western part of the mini-map. They're slowly, surely rotating in. Yep, that's exactly what they did. They landed directly on his surge base while Ishu's just shooting him out from underneath. I don't think he stood a chance with the way they did that one.
That might be a little play they're giving away for grand finals right there. I don't know if I'd, run that playbook so soon here in a group stage, but one thing to think about, showing you all the vulnerabilities of playing so far apart from your teammates.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Medmiss smoke is already down, and this is kind of exactly what you were alluding to, how deep and how long they do fight into the zone. For Broken, Void, King, they kind of need this situation. They didn't necessarily get the most surge to start this game off, even while contested, so now they kind of feel forced in this situation to try to fight for it. 2v1, pressuring the box. King is able to get in, landing a good shot and continuing to pressure out, but damage is still there. But it's still a 3v1 monster. The bait and switch, they're making sure that the first point guy going into that box is going to be the most healthy, and that's why Broken is now taking the lead. Charging in, pressure's there, and there goes that full trio down and out.
Excellent pre-fires by BJ, but not enough to hold it down, and what a huge elimination. The first Mistforms now falling out of their inventory into the hands of Void and company. That's going to be a massive power exchange for them. Looking at Acorn, Poyo, and Ager, seems like we've got full control of things on the other side of the Foxy here. Again, this is about as ideal as it gets right now. Cat material loadout, this natural high ground, and then you see a loadout perfectly situated right now for an end game. So
Acorn, Poyo, Ayers!
Fishing for damage here and just staying consistent now.
Sitting here looking in the mini-map, I'm like, okay, Acorn has the island. You got to imagine they have the medallion. Where is his team? Nobody is on the island with them. They have so much separation. They're covering up so much space in this zone that they're able to kind of do what they want. Agers is on the north side, west of Foxy Floodgates. You got Acorn on the island. Let's go on hunting. Where is Poyo? He's on the other side of Foxy Floodgates on the mountain. So they have the west covered. They have the east covered. And then they have Acorn sitting in the middle, ready to help whoever needs it at any given time. This is just a perfect kind of scenario for what looks like the Major 1 champions.
Yeah, most definitely. And we saw a quick look at everyone's loadout. I mean, they are big chilling for this end game right now.
Again,
the name of the game for them is just hang out, get a little bit of damage, and I mean, they have full control of the Foxy's entire domain. Here's not too far off, Hound. Lila Larson right now at the Crime City. Lila whiffing a couple shots, but this is a team that already has a trio wipe under their belt.
Kind of see him looking off in the distance in the minimap. You see that little chest there where one team's already on it. Just north, you see the little green arrows, the second team. They're just kind of waiting for their superhero rank to go up. That's going to unlock the ability for them to open up that chest, get whatever loot that they have, kind of pick and choose if they already have a full loadout. So you're seeing kind of proactive plays coming out from some of these teams, kind of trying to box up and steal the loot, even if they don't have access it with their superhero rank yet.
Superhero rank is going to unlock you a lot of goodies from this end game, but hold up. Mafia already pushing up here. Woods, Minty, and Ski got to be careful right now. This team's looking at full collapse. Very interesting base. I'm not sure I've ever seen a fight start a base like that. We'll find out what the play is here shortly.
Just judging by the low surge, no eliminations. I believe that was the team that lands over the top eastern portion of the map. So instead of using that time to rotate in and get Storm Surge, they were focusing on that primary position towards the center of the zone. But that kind of leaves a hole in their game plan. So even though they're only 73 above the damage threshold, that can turn in the blink of an eye as soon as the next couple of zones do pull if they don't accumulate damage. Darzi goes Blizzard and Zoom as well, 47 above. It's a small feeling of confidence knowing you're at least not taking damage, but in the back of your mind, you know, I got to start finding, I got to start hitting these shots. Otherwise, it's going to be me forced with my back up against the wall just to push the first team we see.
Yeah, got to take accountability if you're not finding the tags that matter. It's the small decisions and opportunities that change your entire Fortnite game experience for sure. Well, let's jump into some action right now. Gargu having Silic here. Have a team on top of them, but one kind of looking, fishing for damage. They just want to get a few tags in, right? Kind of ease up this pressure that's coming from the Storm Surge here shortly for Mikey's trio. And Crackly, they don't want to be too rash either. Kind of waiting for the team to come to them, and it seems like everyone has decided to jump into the blender. Unfolding pretty quickly here. 75 damage above right now. Tries to retreat now for Focake. They want to heal. Kind of forced to right now.
Not necessarily in the worst spot. Moments ago, they were above the damage threshold. Much better than Jargo, Havoc, and Silic, who are 273, which is more than a full shield elimination. Crackly probably looking to take some of their focus, but Jargo used that misform to try to reposition, but he's still trying to go on the offensive. No opportunities for him there, but they're trying to play calm, cool, collected. Even as they're so far down the damage threshold, they're trying to play as calculated as possible because you cannot give any big shots up to any one of these two teams because then it could be all over.
I mean, answer this, Jacob. Can you misform and block a Storm Surge tag? Like, have we seen that tested to some degree?
The timing on that one would be actually pretty
insane.
I want to say it's possible because I've seen that misform mitigate every single ounce of damage so far, but Hypers loses Focake, and they're still falling below that damage threshold. But with the Outlaw Shotgun, all it takes is one shot to turn the tides of not only the fight, but your damage threshold. But that's not going to come into play this game, at least. That full trio is going to get wiped by Jargu, Silic, and Havoc. They're going to be able to live to tell the tale and hopefully get in his zone sooner rather than later.
That's how you handle being below the surge. Well played by them. Very few teams will make it out of that type of situation alive. I mean, you had 3 trios all on top of each other for Smas, Electro, and King Beast. Oh, no. A lot of damage coming through. It's a world of trouble here on the horizon for Smas. Trying to find a tag. This is the crucial one that mattered there, but boxes up the team. Okay, almost got out of there with the tag he needed.
Oh, that was a great play. That was getting him to cancel the med kit. Active Storm Surge. That's exactly what you got to do, Monster, in situations like that. You almost can tell if you're above the damage threshold by like 200, 300, 400, and you know a team is recklessly pushing you as far away from the zone as they have. You kind of get a semblance of, hey, maybe they're low on surge. If we could just survive long enough, that will do the work for us, and that's exactly what just happened.
Rise, VG money now. Outside the safe zone here. Gonna save, forced to kind of make this rotate here and now. A little bit earlier than the other teams to find themselves in better positioning. Comes the rest of the trio now.
Now we're seeing both the dashes being used. You know they have the misform in their back pocket, just kind of combining both methods of rotation to try to make their way in. But just as they reach the end, Pei in a full trio, Booga's trio as well, maybe even one other, all focusing in this direction. Even though they're surviving for now, they are burning through a lot of materials.
Yeah, for sure. You saw for a second there, Rise switched that med miss in case things got super dire there, but not forced to use it. That was Threats and Blue this trio kind of kicking off that lobby focus for a second there. Blake Olivero, G. Diego find themselves in a zone pull. Not bad at all. A very short distance rotate for them now. You see the marker come out. They're looking to get a piece of that high ground. Look at them. Well positioned above the threshold as far as overall damage is concerned. And no elim, so really just showing that they've manipulated and played this lobby very consistently thus far. Great start to this end game now for them. Agers, Pollo, and Acorn, though, not looking good for the team we hyped up as Agers bails his team out of a terrible situation here. Siphon kicks in for everyone.
Yeah,
They're
unfortunately
back.
enough. Yeah, that was Dave, Boji, and Jack that just went down. And this is where I'm talking about. Sometimes you may think you're safe, but somebody's creeping around. Any one of these walls can turn that one. Booga, Threats, Craze. They wasted no time trying to get into zone. They used a combination of those dashes that we saw. And as soon as they reach the edge, they're just looking back, trying to hold out every single one of these teams. And you're seeing exactly why. They're barely above that damage threshold. And so they're focusing any single person that they can.
And you can see that, you know, again, they're only a B rank at best, right? So not too much, you know, opportunity for them to really hit those hero chests and kind of get the big misforms and kind of those upgrades. So we'll see how they play with their more or less scrappy loot. For Bila, TK, and Larson, though, it's looking pretty tight here. They've got options and opportunities. Fights breaking down all on the outskirts of VG, Money, and Rise continuing to push aggressively here through their rotate. They haven't caught a break. These teams that have landed on them, but defense looking very, very well. Misform. Might be time to pull that out. I was going to say, you don't want to be in between all these boxes. Smart play for Aviv there.
Basically in an island rotating through that one. All the way from Outpost Enclave as well. They got to have one of the farthest rotations in the lobby so far. And to be able to find this much success, hopefully it doesn't run out, because another far pull. Almost the entirety of this lobby has to rotate all the way towards Shining Shafts from the east to the west. And that's where you're hoping you have some sort of mobility, whether it's the Dash Sprite, the Surf Cube, or that Misform.
Yeah, most teams on the move now. The VG, Money, and Rise, though. My gosh, are they smashing through this lobby right now? Another team falls beneath them, just cracking under pressure here in the end game, recharging up these dashes now. Might be the last of what they had left from the dash sprite there. Threats, Booga, and Craze also ready to kind of go here.
Almost looks like they're waiting for cheeky opportunities like that. Larson getting tagged up as he makes his way towards the zone. Agers continuously looking back. 700 damage above. They're seeing two teams struggle to make their way in. And the Medmus smoke is a huge sign of weakness as Void Blue takes a ton of damage. Forced to pause there in his step. He's not even at the zone just yet. Luckily for him, Power is there, but that luck has run out. Forced to abandon. Power getting chipped down. Xander cannot lend a helping hand, or at least not just yet. Jackson is going to get taken down as well. The firing squad from Pollos, Acorn, and Agers claim another one.
Violet, TK, and Larson getting busy here on the outskirts of the zone once again, just opting to stay on these outer edges, wait for teams to kind of come to them for that cheeky damage here. Plenty of time to fight here and now, but no, they're just going to chill out, go and replenish these dashes. Meanwhile, high ground's taking shape right now. Hound, Aiden, and Krillian going to be the first to go ahead and situate up for this endgame here. Look at the commitment from the metal right now. So they want to go ahead and hold this high take.
And this could be right now Carillian's first FNCS Grand Finals appearance if they could somehow clutch up a win. Aiden and Hound, they played duos. They have the chemistry. They have the history on their side, and they have the high ground as well. Ninth zone, you got to be careful. That misform could change things at a moment's notice, but 61 below the damage threshold. Threats continuously looking for opportunities from 8 to 44 down to 40. It's just a teeter-totter of emotions running through these players, but it finally slows down as they get 100 above. That's going to be a big find for them. Craze gets the elimination on the 20.
And you saw Misform falls there as well. So here it goes.
Big.
The tier 1 teams now starting to pick up those key items that can really change the endgame dynamic here. Bila, TK, and Larson, though, opting to play the low ground here. So far, this strategy has not gone astray for them. They have played perfect rotations here, but Starting to fall behind now. The zone's going to look to condense very, very fast. Hound, Carillion, and Aiden have given themselves a lot of space to the high ground here, trying to avoid the misform. Retakes here from trios, but it'd be just a matter of time. Boyo, Acorn, and Ager are starting to cook up here. The last we saw them, they were looking pretty desperate, but they have clawed their way right back into this game right now.
And you're seeing the beauty and action of that Demon's Domain. He's able to get the shield medallion back on up with the big pot 100, but Aviv, G-Money Rise, they're on the hunt. That's Bylon. They were able to get a knock onto one, but Bylon's just trying to backtrack in towards the zone, give himself some time to work with, especially since now they've been focused out. Time for him to make that decision for TK. Do I get the revive? Do I not? And it looks like he's going to have to continue this one by himself relatively because he's so far away from Byla. I'm not sure they could reunite at this moment.
Here goes the fight for high ground. Oliver OG and Diego go for it. Carillion, Hound, and Aiden lose the high ground for a second there. Diego, Blake, and Oliver, the more experienced trio, managed to time it. Hound, the force of the low ground here. So close, yet so far from a victory royale. Now they're going to have to fight for it for the low ground. G-Money denies that opportunity, though. Carillion falls, Aiden falls. It's all up to Hound. Meanwhile, Boyo, Acorn, Agers, token in hand now. And they're taking full advantage of that misform play, men misplay in the zone there. This is all starting to collapse now, Jacob.
This is just a chaotic endgame. Everybody's just getting destroyed by this zone. It went up the mountain, down the side. So if you weren't planning ahead, you're probably back in the lobby watching all this one play out as Hound. He lost his teammates. He lost the high ground, but he gained an opportunity to tell his story here late into the game. Even with Vert getting cleaned up, Aviv, G-Money, Rise, they continue to steamroll through trio after trio here.
I mean, these are big points right now for Boyo, Acorn, and Agers. Kings of the low ground now. Oliver OG and
They got themselves 11 eliminations already.
Looking to seal up the win here, but no team has really given resistance to Boyo and Acorn down to the low ground. Rise, Aviv, and G-Money, though, starting to fall apart here, playing as a duo, hit to hit right now. It's all going to come down to timing here, and now if they misplay this, they can still lose this game. Oliver OG taking that unfortunate damage from the storm here, but Boyo is cooking on the low ground. Look at them rack up right now.
Oh, Acorn went down.
With a duo left alive, but now there's two duos still running around, but one of them does get taken out. That's Rise. G-Money no more. Agers goes for a play backside of the zone, but he does not find any success there. Scrambling all around. Diego's trying to put the pressure on Agers. They have heal off. Possibility staying high.
Went down.
Goes down, but it's going to be a trade. Agers falls. Oliver OG turns around.
Oh, no. Dang, Boyo and Acorn and Ayers are so close. GG's, what a round, chat. What a round for the first round.
In an FNCS lobby, this is just a kickoff. The win means you go straight to grand finals, and he'll be seeing another with Diego there too. What a game to go in and kick this one off, Jacob.
Yeah, we saw a lot of our heavy hitters playing low ground throughout the course of that game. And there was only two teams that even played for height. Diego, Blake, and Oliver OG was the second team, and they were the ones who solidified that victory royale and granted themselves a spot into the Major 3 Grand Final. Zeke, Kelly, Vivid, I know it's only the first game, but what are your thoughts?
Yes, Blake. Yes, Blake. That's what I like. That right there. That's what I like to see. Oh my gosh, they've secured themselves a spot in the grand finals of Major number 3, and they will look to compete for one of the spots for the global championships. Oh my gosh, looking at Diego's inventory there at the very end, bro, they've got nothing, and they still come out on top. I was scared, guys. I'll admit, I looked over when we swapped to the POV and then like 15 elims. I was like, well, yeah, that's fine. Game number 1, we could give it to him. And then Blake, Oliver OG, Diego Play said, no, hold on, Zeke. Just wait, just watch.
Yeah, a great high take from them as well, as you were watching right here. Just very clean, very smooth, and it's showcasing just what those capes can do. Oliver OG, Blake, and then Diego just playing the high ground so well, not playing too aggressively. I think a lot of players with these capes like to drop down, try and grab a bunch of refreshes, and we can see how low Diego is on mats here. But they don't fret, they play it smooth and safely, and they know it's a 3v2, even against the likes of Poyo and Agers. You just have to play patiently, and that's exactly what we saw from this trio.
Incredible timing there for Blake, Oliver, and Diego, right? Usually when we have a meta like this where there's so many mobility items that kind of make it easy for you to go up vertically, kind of contest the high ground, we have to see those high ground teams kind of separate themselves with a bunch of, space between them and the second height. But right there, they slipped up just a little bit. Hounds Trio on the high ground got a little bit too close to that second layer, and Blake, Oliver, OG, and Diego instantly took advantage.
Oh, man, I cannot wait to see them compete in the finals. It's so sick. Now, of course, I know what you want, more Fortnite action. But first, a short break. When we return, we pick back up with game number 2. So, stay tuned.
I know, right? That was a good first game. GG's for sure.
Welcome back, everyone, to the FNCS. We just wrapped up game number 1, and man, it was a wild one. Of course, there's a couple things that happened in that game, like, I don't know, Acorn Agers and Poyo just going absolutely ham in that game. Oh my gosh. What was their total? How many eliminations did they end up with? Because again, we kind of went into those final few moments, and again, when we jump over to Poyo, and I'm like, bro, this guy's just got it all. He's got medallion. This is an easy GG, right? They don't manage to get the Victory Royale, but guys, these guys are 100% in first place as far as consistency is concerned.
You know, I've been watching their streams over the last few weeks and through the play-ins, and something that Acorn said during one of these games where in first moving, he's like, oh, everyone stays to the front of zone, we need to change the meta. And I've kind of noticed that when they are on the low ground, they actually kind of stay towards the side, maybe even in the middle, where they allow a lot of these other teams to kind of rotate in front of them, and that's why they're able to get so many eliminations. And not until they're kind of aware of where everyone else is on the low ground do they push for that front zone. So I'm loving these adjustments. I'm loving the awareness that this has, and that obviously comes from Acorn being one of the smartest IGLs in all of Fortnite, and to have him with Poyo and Agers, these incredible fraggers. The only thing that hurts me is that we got to see some dig on dig crime. Of course, Acorn and Oliver OG. You know, when the organizations go up against each other, it's a bittersweet moment, but what a great moment that was, Vivid.
I mean, you want to talk about moments, right? There was a game-defining moment for this trio. It was definitely their eliminations on today, right? MDF and Jacob were talking about it. As soon as we kind of tuned into their POV at the start of that fight, they were like, whoa, these guys are not looking good at all. And then a couple seconds later, boom, they pick up the eliminations, they pick up the refresh, and they just went ahead with that momentum. I mean, 17 total eliminations, picking up that second place after our casters are kind of able to kind of tune in and be like, whoa, they're not looking so good. Turn it into that kind of a game. Incredible stuff from the trio.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, of course, on the other side though, right? You've got Aviv, you got G-Money, you got Rise. They didn't get 17, but third place in 12 eliminations. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know what about this meta is making like these trios just say like, we're going to find every elimination. We're going to get every single one possible. But, you know, it is so exciting to see. And again, like, you know, all of these tiny little interactions, eliminating a player, taking their stuff, suddenly an impact, suddenly a new weapon, ammo, materials, whatever it is, like that moment to moment right now is just so unbelievably exciting to me, Kelly.
Yeah, that Sentinel pump in the right hands can just end up with a double-digit elimination, joined by G-Money and Rise, who are able to kind of just navigate the low and mid-ground so well in that end game, giving Aviv just all of the gas that he needed to go hard. And, you know, Rise, Money, they were a duo in that situation, but going and continuing to thrive in that situation where you don't really know the chaos is going on around you. How are you going to be able to survive? Where should you be positioning yourself in the end game? Well, this duo right here handled that with just great ability.
And kind of checking out those highlights from that game right there, actually able to notice that it's actually around the same time, 7th zone, similar to kind of Acorn's trio where they look like they were not doing so well either, right? We kind of tuned into Aviv's trio earlier on throughout the game and it was like, whoa, they're racking up eliminations very, very easily. Can't believe they weren't the trio with the most eliminations in that game, all things kind of considered.
All right, Chad, I won't be talking for a few minutes. I'm eating dinner right now with my family, so I'm going to be mute for a little bit.
But it just worked out for them.
They're trying to hit that S rank. They're like, all right, S rank, pretty good stuff to me. I did want to highlight quickly 5th place Taki Isho and Vert. We kind of talked about them at the start of the show, right? And to see them kind of, you know, this is a really good starting place, right? We just need to keep this momentum moving forward. We just need to keep doing what we're doing. We can't, of course, make any mistakes, right? We make a single slip up, a single, you know, we get sent back to the lobby type situation, and suddenly we can find ourselves outside of that top 5. But this is a great start, Kelly.
Yeah, no, I honestly think with just one game done that there's still so much opportunity for Taki, Isho, and Vert and all of our trios, honestly, to kind of make these micro adjustments that we talk about, potentially look at what they did wrong over the last game or last few games as we continue on throughout the day. So even though they're in 5th place, which is a good position to be in for group stages, I don't think that there's too much of a worry for them.
Kind of crazy as well how brutal this, you know, this meta is. It keeps people alive for so long because of the meds, the mist form that's kind of available for all of our players. Makes those solo clutches really, really easy. It just makes placement points very, very hard to get as well. Like Buka's trio not finding themselves in the top 10 on the consistency leaderboard, even though they were alive in like 11th zone. Super, super brutal.
Yeah, I mean, they're currently sitting in 13th place, right? So I like that you call that out. Let's keep our eyes on that over these next few games. Now, remember, we only have 5, which means we have 4 left to go before we close group number 1. So we can't skip a beat. Let's get ready to jump back into the action. MDF, over to you.
Thank you. And yes, I think that we're seeing the early glimpse of how the new end games are going to start taking form in these higher tier lobbies, Jacob. A lot of players seem to be able to go the distance now. All thanks to all the opportunities, the heals, the med mist, the mist form, right? There's so many ways to do that.
Yeah, throughout the course of that game, I was even thinking to myself, man, placement points got to be huge right now. It was still 14 teams still up. Some of them's probably solos, some of them probably duos, but it's the miss form that is truly key. And it really goes to show, man, just heals, 2 med kits, maybe a med miss smoke can really change the difference between top 14 and a top 8. And that's where half of the placement points are at.
Yeah, well, clearly Oliver OG and team are going to be happy now. They're going straight to the Grands. It's all up to the rest now to try to pull in a victory royale. Let's talk about the dynamic changes here really quickly. We're tearing into the next game. When you win, you are done. There's a new spot now that's going to open up here. So we'll see as we jump into game number 2.
With proven success from that drop spot already, Monster, we'll see if anybody is daring enough to switch it up. Already a victory royale, and I think most of the community thought Oliver, Blake, and Diego was going to make it in, but more so on the side of consistency. And when I have that in the back of my head, if I'm one of those teams that is in a contested drop, maybe I start to move my way over there. If not this game, probably games 3 or 4.
I mean, Aiden, Hound, and Carillion had high ground early. They were the first to take it, invested all their metal, and still raised themselves many layers above the rest of the teams. But somehow, some way, Oliver OG's team still managed to get up to high ground and contest them and give them a run for their money. So it was, I think, really well fought for, right? And earned, honestly.
Yeah, and I thought more teams would probably be going for high ground. I think that's something we're going to see as the games do continue on. Only so many teams can survive down below, but back at the resistance base, a contested fight that we saw early on in game number 1 kind of settled in one direction, and already an early down is going to go on way of Pay, Boogeyman, and Quick, who won the fight in game number 1, and back-to-back eliminations as all 3 go down 2 games in a row.
Quick, Pay, and Boogeyman playing very well early game. They carried that into the mid game before falling before, so a lot of lessons to be learned there. Priscilla on Kadios and Bait, one of those first few teams, of course, looking to try to see if they can make their initial Grands. This is contested, though. Standoff right now, but Priscilla caught off and out of bounds, essentially, there. Can't be on the other side of the trio. And your team's kind of playing the opposite. That was just a small misplay, right?
Yeah. I feel like I can almost hear the team comms. Why are you even on that side? We know it's a split drop, especially after game 1. But Byler's going through the same thing over at Lone Wolf. They know it's contested, but he's able to get the first elimination with the Spire. But it's only going to be a knock. 2v2 still going down with Larson, trying to steal some of these pieces away, find success in the short moment. And Sale has to be able to get this damage there. TK gets tagged up just a little bit. He's forced to back up and cower down as Larson does go down. That's a 2v1 situation now with him being last island. Say TK was able to escape, but another third-party monster.
Yeah, but you can't miss those tags. Mafia techs now show up fast before TK can even really process what happens, it seems like. They're looking. They have an inkling of where he is. There's only so many options you can get to. TK hit for 90 and then the finish there. Man, quick finish for them. All that momentum they built out of game 1 now deleted as they are forced to kind of play towards the later half of the tournament here. Only 5 games, Jacob. Losing one really sets you back, even on overall points as well.
And interesting to see, because that team that kind of pushed over towards Lone Wolf Lair, they were originally planning on going towards first order base, so either they made a quick rotation monster or they switched things up, which is working out for them. BJ Baloney at September 19th. Going up against a fight here, but even though you kind of see this full fight breaking down 3v3 from high ground to low ground, Turbulence going for a knock onto 1, you can kind of see on the outskirts of this fight a third party waiting for it all to play out so they can kind of take what they hope to steal away from the winner of this fight.
Interesting about this fight is, you know, the first game we was able to tell very clearly the teams were deciding, maybe it's not worth finishing. This time, no. Much different story. They're pushing it through to the end, and then you have Boogeyman sneaking up right now. So for one team wipe, looking to get into the next one. They've heard the shots. They see what's going on here. But it seems like the team's already hunting down the 1 solo left, and don't even know what's going on right now. The 3-2-1 here, Jacob.
It's an interesting decision, too. A lot of strategies so far from the couple teams that we saw already kind of changing up. Because in game 1, they won their off-spawn fight. They looted resistance base. The zone was relatively close, and they played the rest of the game at normal. They probably saw something throughout that course of the game 1. The contested fight going on over towards their west, and they're looking to try to take advantage of it, but nobody's rotating in that direction. I feel like for Boogeyman, Quick, and Pay, they just got to continue on with the rest of the game, just like they did in the first one.
Another team lurking right here. Oh, the missed shot. Can't miss those tags right there. That ambush foiled now. Zonda gets away. Power FN already has the high ground here, looking backwards now. Okay, Kuiperson, Luckin Dog. Probably gonna have to give this one up right now. Missed opportunities, big time right here. We'll come back around and check their damage later as the surge turns on. We'll see if we find them below. We'll know why. For Drizzy, Liam, and Madden, though, trying to make up for that mid-game fault that they had last time.
I want to say it almost seems like it could be a similar zone for the most part, even though it does have a little bit more of an eastern lean. You see it moving down towards Pump Power, maybe in Utopia, as Naves gets tagged from 2 different angles, caught off guard in that split second, trying to heal up. Hopefully his teammates are there to alleviate some of the pressure. Aloe is trying to do just that, landing some shots on Brazi down below. He has that ultimate high ground, and he's going to try to pressure these teams, allow for some time to Naves to actually heal up without the thought of anybody trying to pressure that box. And nobody, in theory, this is such an isolated fight because you see it's kind of pushing in from Shogun Solitude just past Canyon's Crossing at the peak of this mountaintop where you have a launch pad as well. So there's not going to be any third parties rushing in to try to take this position or steal this fight away. At the worst, maybe somebody looking off into the distance. That's going to allow exactly what we're seeing here. A lot of flexibility for both of these teams to try to disengage off this mountain and rotate into the zone.
Funnily enough, though, both teams thinking the same exact thing, like, just kind of give it up. Look, Brazil, Cinema, they still think the trio's up top, but we've kind of already gone. Back to the Crime City, though. Power Blue, Zonda. Probably not finding tags off that surge base. Now they're saying, hey, whatever happened to that team that was in the city with us? They turn back and they find him. Hyper's just going to fall here, and their whole entire plan is starting to crumble. Cake has a chance, though, to kind of turn this back around, turn this into a 2v2.
He did get a knock. That's the difference maker. It looked like he was going to try to hide, play hero when his teammate did go down, but him getting that knock kind of changed up the entire course of this fight. Now Blue and Power are looking at how are we going to save Zonda? How are we going to keep him into the game? Cake with another angle, but he only has the DMR, so there's not a lot of pressure Cake can put down single-handedly.
Oh, but Lucky Dog's here, but no! Shots from the distance! They're going to kill every opportunity they had. Kind of turn this around, and Power gets a shield crack, and Luckin doesn't put the builds down. Oh, no. And then the team in the distance snipes one of them as well.
Fortunate circumstances going down. This is the problem we talk about, especially one of those contested POIs. The third parties coming in from Predator's Peak. Luke, Phoenix, and Pandas. They're able to get the elimination over towards the Resistance base. And this is a team that didn't even land here initially. They went back towards the Resistance base, trying to get whatever loot is left on over, and they ended up landing against the team of Quick, Pay, and Peace. They get the elimination, and now they basically double up their loot.
Well, stood around longer than they should have. Look at that. Clean finish off the Pay, right into the box. Fearless for Venox. Boogeyman and Pay, they had the trio elimination, and then they were trying to lurk, catch another team off guard, and instead irony attacks here as they end up being the team ambushed on.
Back to the game plan as usual. Just going to take a quick peek. There's not too many teams contesting that island, so it's going to go uncontested Agers, Acorn, and Pollo yet again. Following in the same blueprint of their game number 1. They weren't able to get the win, but 17 eliminations, Monster. Another game like that, they might have top 5 locked and loaded, ready to go. Still got to play it out. On the other side of the map, you're seeing a fall from grace or an attempt at it. They're just trying to chop down the high ground, so that way it becomes an easier battle that they think they could take.
A lot of mats committed there too, but give that a second. We jump in with Tex. Hades and Mafia right now. Great shield crack here on the bait. Oh, this team's got them cut off on the second layer too, but Mafia falls by the shotgun of Muncadios on the other side of the wall. Bait though, here it is, the exchange. Hades gets the follow-up, and there's the full finish. They're gonna have to play for the save here shortly, but there's another team lurking nearby. Pressure's on now to perform here.
please, Monster, you correct me. Anybody in chat that's watching, correct. Is this the most fighting we've seen in a group stage ever to start a tournament off? From game 1 to game 2, it just feels like they're just endless. TKHD, they're the last alive. Mafia's not there. I bet you they got their reboot card, but they need to figure out a way to disengage. And it just got even harder because there's another third-party team moving in to try to close the distance. Teeks does go down, so it's all going to be up to his teammate, the last alive on their team, to try to get these cards and reboot them back into the game.
Yeah, look, it could be, you know, attributed to the lack of cash cups this season, right? Like we said, not too many set lobby chances to really get it in. So what you're seeing could just be the raw, unfiltered take at these games. Teams seem to be getting caught completely off guard left and right inside of the storms here. And then so many ways to push, right? You got all these dashes, misforms, and it just seems like confidence at an all-time high.
Then you add in stuff like this, the Med Miss Smoke, where it's kind of your entire team can carry a stack of 2 and make sure everybody stays alive for so long. Gray is trying to escape, but he knows it's eventually going to be over. If he doesn't find himself with elimination, he did his best, but he's going to fall short of the marker. Luckily for him, though, just leaving the minimap on the eastern edge. You see Core just trying to escape. There is a launch pad there. There's a lot of different mobility in the game that we were talking about. So hopefully for him, he has some HP to regain, whether it's med kits, Chug Chug, or Med Miss Smoke, to try to get his team back in the game.
Well, nicely played for them. Jumping back to some of the big boys in the lobby. The vets here, Booga, Brazen Threats, falling short last game in that end game. Again, 13th place with how much time alive they attributed to that round really shows the difference, the significance of misform, med miss, and all the other, you know, mobility items that you have available and at your disposal here. Now we're getting to see how the misform can be used for the W key as Vert, Escher, and Taki get a knock and immediately collapse in. Looking to burn that first misform there. Absolutely worth it. They secure the loot here. This is at the center of the Shining Span now.
This could be good control for them, too, depending on where the zone continues to move. There's no outskirts. There's no edge of zone currently here at Shining Span. We have seen in Majors Pass 1 and 2, zones go over towards Shining Span. And whoever's the one that's brave enough to kind of claim the top of that bridge usually ends up performing well, as Woods just kind of get 3-2-1 by the entire trio. He's going to fall. They immediately use that misform to close the distance.
No one missed the shot there. He fell before he could even react.
Get punished, and then you see them pass around the medallion like a hot potato. You get shield, and that's how a team like this over towards Demon's Domain is able to kind of make it far into the game. They're not forced to use a lot of their resources, so that way the minis, they're able to keep them longer and longer in towards the end game where they make more of an impact, especially if you're taking damage pressured from all around. Just outside Lone Wolf layer, Turbulence, Amen, Lucky T, they're able to survive using every single resource at their disposal just in order to just get that revive. They do have the Med Miss Smoke, but now is where they got to start thinking. The zone is pulling so far away of where they're currently at, all the way towards the eastern edge. They have to make that a focal point from here on out.
Good use of this surf cube here. I mean, you get a lot of distance out of this. Lucky's going to go ahead and looks like he's seemingly getting back to some old loot there, but I'll catch up with them in a second. As again, got to get to the safety first. Guard, Havoc, and Silic by the Kappa Kappa factory. See that stat right there. Silic and Jargu both played their first FNCS finals last season, placing 21st. Let's see how much they've managed to learn in their end-game high-tier lobbies.
Those edge fights right now just out of Demon's Domain. Two teams currently battling it out, 3v3. Electro and his trio versus Jackson and his trio, but there's a whole nother one coming out of Demon's Domain and a solo player just towards the east. So the longer this fight goes, the harder it's going to be because they're using so much material, which you could already see they don't have a lot of. 3 points so far, that coming from eliminations in game number 1. That puts a lot of pressure on them to survive, so that way they don't have those mental kind of roadblocks throughout the rest of this tournament.
side's kind of poising up, just looking for an opportunity, but this low fire rate rifles here not really giving them that quick advantage they're looking for. Jack's got to be careful though, losing the walls there.
I would say they kind of got blessed there in a moment. Zone didn't pull too far away, so they don't have too much distance to cover after this one's over, but they're just kind of getting the map burnt away, trying to create some extra space. That's Jackson on that side. Smoss, Electro, King Beast, they're just trying to hold their position here. They're feeling confident playing their game. They haven't moved too far away from where the fight actually started. That way they can run in and out of their builds if things get tough.
Yeah, Beast not happy with them kind of claiming that extra territory to play with. You can see him inching his way in now. Might just be a matter of time before the Surge goes and gives the update to the lobby. They don't know what they need to do at that moment. G-Money Rising Bees, though, on the move right now. At the center of the next zone here. Got themselves a little bit of a position. Max material as well. Here's that warning we talked about, but no damage problems for this trio.
Looking back, that's kind of where their two trios were fighting back there. One trio is going to be above, more towards the eastern edge. Smoss, Beast, and Electro. They're not out of zone just yet, but they're holding on to the high ground. That way, when that team rotates on out, they can try to get damage, but they became hunted by a whole nother team, and they find themselves 200 plus below that damage threshold, and now they're feeling the pressure. They're feeling the timing on their back that they have to start to react here, because every 5-7 seconds, 25 damage when Storm Surge activates, and you don't want to just blow through all of your heals this early in the game.
Acorn and Boyo not content with that low ground push they try to make onto Icy's trio there. Seems like too many other teams are starting to set up all around them. Gonna have to give that one up here. Zone's gonna pull past Utopia now. Meanwhile, Smoss, the Surge is gonna turn on here. They're below. We saw them kind of in that standoff. I think they were trying to feel out their damage, but you could see it, they did not have enough. Cinnamon gets collapsed on. The aggression is real, but Beast falls first. Smalls there to back it up. Jax, Brazil, and Cine just hitting the shots that matter most.
Team is still active. Surge. Smoss goes down to power, which is a whole nother team. Both teams above the damage threshold, over 600. And a far zone pull going over towards Utopia, maybe even further. I hinted at Shining Span being a possibility, Monster. I didn't think it would actually go all the way over there. So I think about the teams that were already on that side of the map. Taki, Ishao, Vert, Booga, Crazed, Threads that lands towards Utopia. So if you were kind of here and hedged your bets, you got to be one of the most better positioned teams in the game so far.
Oh, most definitely. And then look at that body of water, right? This is going to play a lot of dynamic in this end game here. It's going to start to influence these teams to start piling up on these outskirts here. It's really going to cause strong funnels. No threats, though. What happened here? Just Crazy and Booga up right now. They're trying to keep a low profile, though. Notice they're kind of below this indestructible, cliff edge right there, keeping the tree up from the other trio, so they really don't want to attract attention right now. Seems like Booga and Crazy are trying to play for endgame here. Almost strictly consistency. Acorn, Boyo, and Agers doing somewhat similar, but they've got themselves their eyes on the prize for other teams. Look at this. They fall from below the Surge now. They were 400 above just in the last zone. Booga gets tagged there. This might be the signal to kick this off. You know, there was only 2 teams, and here comes the chase.
Because of that medallion, they know exactly who's pushing them right now through the 2 situation. Boyo feeling more and more confident, but now Storm Surge is active. Around every 7 seconds, 25 damage will tick onto these players. And the kicker on top of that, Monster, they don't go down. You get straight eliminated by Storm Surge if it activates.
But you see how good the misform is right there. Allowing Booga and Craze to actually escape and now rotate straight to the next zone there. Narrowly getting away from Agers, Acorn, and Boyo, who are desperate here and now. You wouldn't expect a team this good to be under the Surge here for game 2, but they have plenty of room to play with Acorn on the lead here, looking to kind of cut them off. Agers trying to back him up, but no, gets tagged in return there. comes the misform. Acorn falls there, getting grief for the damage. And still, even with all that, they're still underneath.
Pass around the medallion. Good play by Pollo to drop down the Medmis smoke to keep Agers alive a little bit longer, but Storm Surge is just eating them alive. 33 below the damage threshold. Even though they've isolated this fight against that team that is going to be right below them, it has not gotten easier any step of the way through. 1 damage still below the threshold, and for now, Storm Surge will deactivate, but they got about 40 seconds to get above that threshold.
Nice. Pollo finding a knock right there. That's huge. That should be enough. He needs to get this finish too.
Oh.
And a 149. What a crack right there. Really showing you guys why Pollo is that guy. Hold up though. He's not done. There's the finish he's looking for. Okay, so they're right back in it like they never left here. Hold up. He countered and it comes through. No. Caught off guard there. Pollo falls. Storm's doing way too much damage. Agers actually has to leave him behind.
No, chat.
All goes downhill.
This is a team that I'm pulling for.
Real tough situation to be in, especially since Pollo not only had the medallion, but he had a bunch of HP heals as well, med kits.
Yeah.
The Medmis smoke, that was exactly what they needed, and the materials on top. You're seeing how low on resources overall Agers is. Couple of empty slots and less than 20 builds overall. You're seeing the struggles around the lobby. Taki, Ishao, Vert, much better position. They've been proactive throughout the course of this game, rotating south from their actual drop spot just to be first to every single one of these rotations. Seeing a replay of how they're getting all of that loot and more. They're able to get Vnox into the box. They clean that one up with ease before they go right back on to pushing out. Switched on over
What
to
a
V,
play.
G Money, and Rise. Yeah, that was good.
I mean, just back and forth right now. We're really seeing the action pick up here for game number 2. Look at this. Another update. Agers finding minis. Who knows where, but he's got something to work with right now. Couple charges left in the miss.
Whoa, and he ain't even got no builds, chat. He is low on HP, no mats. Dude, that is rough.
Sneaking around, finally gets spotted out. He has no build, so he can't even really protect himself. So he sets his eyes in the sky. You hear the birds going around, and that's where in the back of his mind, are they chasing me? Are they not? It does look like Luga and Craze continue rotating.
He needs to get himself a siphon.
They don't want to take too many risks, considering they already lost threats earlier into this game.
No! And there went Ayers. GG's. Alright, I guess we're pulling for Booga this round, chat.
Onto Agers there. Misformed to go and rotate out. More pressure coming through. And even with no threats in the lobby, pulling through here and now. But if VG Money and Rise are on the hunt right now, they find Craze. They wrap it up so fast there. And Booga can't misform out this time. He's going to have to fight for this one. Doesn't escape fast enough. Just like that, G Money, Rise and Aviv get their hands on their first misform. Very big pickup here.
Oh, there just went Booga.
Yeah, misform truly is going to be a difference maker, especially in
Who we pulling for now, chat?
Mikey Rao, they're on the high ground, but we see Night Zone already from game 1. Just be a little bit too early for any team to feel safe, especially with the different mobility items in the game that can kind of steal it away in the blink of an eye. As Vert, Taki, Isha rotating towards the left side of the zone. They don't want to be on that ultimate low ground just yet. They know it's too chaotic down there with so many teams wreaking havoc.
Yeah, if you're Crackley's team who's holding
Chat, who y'all calling gonna win this?
these mid-round layers, G Money Rise will have a chance to take for high ground, but look at this. As I start talking about what is the next textbook play, Ral FN seems like they get collapsed on by Taki, Ishu, and Vert. You blink and you missed it. Now they are in control of things here, and they're really starting to push through. Look at the big find here. Vert with the recap. Now max material. My gosh. They have everything they need to win this one here. Aiden Hound and Cerulean, though. Thinking about that last game and what went wrong this time.
Yo, chat, they was talking about the end game. Oh, one of the end games ending up over here at Shining Span. Look at where we're at. In game Shining Span. Ain't that crazy?
Chargers, a lifeline there in the back pocket as a just in case. And Vert, Ishao, Taki, they got the high ground, have not looked back. They continue to pressure every single team down below them. Does not want to let Second Height even think they have a chance, forcing them to burn through their match as G-Bunny, Rise, and V continue to dominate.
2 a.m. cheese.
Third elimination so far. They're trying to have that calm, cool, collected demeanor to make their way through the rest of this game.
So 20 players up here, 11 duos or trios, teams kind of mixed in this end game right now, and really showing you how much players are able to go the distance right now. One thing's for certain, though, high ground is big chillin', and this is what happens when you get zone. They have so much mats to play with. Seems like just favoritism kicking in for them, but Broken Void and King find another knock here, but no, lose a teammate in the process. The lobby's starting to look back towards them, and he tries to get a little bit of his teammates loot, but no chances, no time for it. And just like that, they're done and out. Aviv, G-Money, and Rise starting to look good for them. Aiden and Hound as a duo, playing very well here. There's the finish onto Liam. Misform here, still has a lot of options to play with.
Fortunate enough, those weren't his actual eliminations, so no side for him to keep him alive. Blue's already dead.
Yeah, this is one busy end game for sure.
Low ground, but Power gets caught out at the tail end. Now Zonda's gonna be left by himself. A battle versus Day on the other side, and the tables have turned from being aggressed on to trying to run away, but he's still gonna go down. A bunch of these teams that we just saw in full getting torn apart, stuck as duos, stuck as solos, but in the clouds right now. Taki, Isha, and Bird, they have not been challenged. The Shining Span Bridge has been a huge thorn in every player on the low ground side.
Yeah, G-Money and Rise and Aviv playing very well low and mid-ground here. However, starting to run a little thin on the material counts. They're going to all drop back into the storm here. Okay, very interesting play right now. Popping Chug Jugs as a trio, then probably looking to misform, retake the high ground team. Oh, here it comes. Things are going to get very interesting here.
Two full trios and a duo.
Starting to get spicy, chat.
Below onto that low ground. Down goes Rise. Aviv is getting a little bit of redemption as he runs into 20 there. Great shot can be fired off as 20 goes down as well. That's going to be a wipe onto that trio. But you can see up above, they've just been waiting for this. They let them fight. They used it as a distraction. Now Taki, Bert, Icho are in full control.
They were just too patient, taking their time, recognizing that they shouldn't jump the gun too soon, and this is a win waiting for them to claim right here. A couple of mats, though, are left. Misform goes on up. Vert has to get contested here. It's all going to come down to this smart fight for G-Money to take.
Chat, what a good end game. Wow, that was epic right there for sure. That is definitely going into the books of the classic.
First eliminations of the game, and they set up shop from zone to zone from there on out. Monster, they didn't even waste their time going for high ground in the 8th zone, not even in the 9th, but it was the 10th zone. They timed it perfectly, knowing that team up there was wasting all of their resources.
Storybook finish for them. You know, you just can't, emphasize the importance of that critical elimination at the Shining Span, giving them an abundance of material to play with, and then the zone pulling that way. It just doesn't get better. Get it from their perspective. I mean, it just looked like easy walk for them in the park here. And really, you got to give them a lot of credit. They played smart, slow, and steady, because you saw Aviv and Rise trying to time the retake, but Ishu, Taki, and Vert played the smart and had a lot of high ground there, giving them that distance.
And this is where G-Money tried to contest, but it was too little, too late. 17th finals for Vert, for Taki and Ishao. This is going to be their second appearance in the Major 3 Grand Finals. Zeke, Kelly, Vivid, what do you guys think of all that action?
Guys, they treated this like a grand finals endgame, right? That's that sweet spot you want to be in when there's all this kind of chaos happening on the different layers, people changing, jumping, dashing all over your screen. Being able to find that calm in the storm and really zone in and just play your game has led them to now from game one, right? They were 5th place going into that game, right? We were kind of talking about them before we went to that break, like, oh man, maybe, though they're on the edge, like maybe they just got to kind of keep going. Nah, they just turned around and said, hey, look, Victor Real, let's just treat this like a grand finals lobby. Let's do what we need to do. And they come out with a win.
I mean, it was exactly what Jacob was talking about, where they saw the high ground around Zone 9, right? Actually, what we're watching right now, and just saw just kind of how shambles high ground was. No one was really claiming it for their own. So they were.
I'll tell you, we definitely need some GGs in the chat for that one. That was definitely one for the Bucks.
Zone, I should say, where they had a lot of opportunity to kind of get eliminations towards the mid ground, grab those refreshes, and then be able to hold high ground for the rest of the game. And then they kind of just waited for the rest of the lobby to get those eliminations. I know that a lot of people say high ground wins games, low ground wins tournaments, but for, the group stages, they don't need to worry about winning a tournament. They just need to worry about winning the game.
Yeah, I feel like everything Kelly just said right there could be, you could put more emphasis on that.
They were talking about them earlier. Ones to watch out for, too. Winning the match, too.
Because it's just hard to maintain the do that. But again, we're talking about a team here that just made it to their second FNCS finals, right? 2 of the players on this trio. That type of win that we just saw is something that we kind of expect out of like one of our more experienced teams, right? Like maybe like Acorn's trio would have won a game like that, right? Especially early on in the game. In the day, game number 2. So
hey, if y'all hanging out in the chat, y'all new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and alert button. We're also doing a hide and seek gift card giveaway this Saturday. You want to be a part of that? It's gonna be fun and exciting.
You know, I've written a script or 2, not a big deal. Anyway, let's go to a break. When we come back, only 3 games left to go before Group 1 closes. So stay tuned. You won't want to miss any of the action.
Yo, what's up, Civil? We're doing pretty good today. Just sitting back and enjoying this FNCS the Major 3. Dude, it's been fun, dude. You missed an epic end game. We streamed the EU earlier. Yeah, we got. Oh yeah, definitely. It definitely has, man. Good to see you, man. How you been doing? Well, let's see. Honestly, I can't even remember the names of the groups that just that won. We had a group win. Like, okay, so if you win the matchup in this, it pushes you over into the grand finals, so you don't have to continue playing anymore after that. You get the victory royale. And on the first matchup, I can't remember who it was, but somebody eliminated Paul and his team in the end game. But that last end game, man, that was stat. Yes, sir. You're very welcome, TT. And also, Sybil, just so you know, with that membership that you got gifted just now, we will be doing some membership plays throughout each week. So, with that being said, with you being a member level 2 because of the gift, that means that you will be eligible to get into some games with us as well. But we're also doing a gift card giveaway on Saturday. If you haven't gotten you a gift card yet, it gives you a what's the name of the skin, honey? Ghost Monks.
Yeah, Ghost Monks.
It'll give you Ghost Monks for free, and it's gonna be a $15 gift card.
With 2 games down, we only have 3 left to go, but there's still plenty of action ahead of us. So let's talk about that last game, right? More chaotic than before.
Yeah, Polio is really good. That's why I was pulling for to win the first matchup. And then the second matchup, they went down at like 14th or 15th.
Talk to me about this last game. What might have
But that was
what do you guys think?
that was a wild end game.
Necessarily bad for this trio. I think that they actually had a pretty good run through the mid game, or they're staying on the mid ground. They do a really good job with this. They aren't like the other trios where they kind of stick to the ultimate low, especially when you're going over water. It's so risky.
I think the membership's a month.
To the mid ground, they were able to kind of get these little picks and eliminations.
Oh yeah, you only get one. You only have 1 week on your membership. I got what you meant. I'll see what I can do. I'm able to gift 10 memberships a month, and I just gifted 10. So you might receive another membership next month. It's possible. Finally figured out how to do it again.
So many eliminations for them in that game, and then we kind of tune in with them this game, and right, going into the end game, only 3 eliminations kind of in the 11 zone. Such a big difference. When we actually, tuned in with them, I think it was around like 9 zone. They had 0 eliminations and plenty of mats. So
plus people could gift memberships as well. That's also possible. One membership $10, 5 memberships $50, 10 is $100, 20 is $200, and 50 is $500.
So right now, as we stand,
That could be a potential way of getting it as well.
Currently looking really good.
Yep, you sure do. And if you click on the yep, there you go. You got both of them.
Again, kind of the difference from game 1 to versus like game
Also,
really coming alive, right? Like, I don't know if it's that pressure. Maybe it's just like first game jitters, or like who knows? Maybe going into first game, just like let's just see what kind of happens. But game 2 for this.
And go subscribe to this channel. That's TK's channel. The one that I just posted in there. TK has his own channel, so y'all can get his point of view of games too now. But yeah, we just hit 600 subscribers last night, y'all. 600 subscribers, y'all. And we also had another video hit over 11,000 views. Actually hit over 12,000.
The rest of the players, although he did go down a little early, is definitely a great showing for the potential that he has going on into the future.
Yeah, also wait for them to kind of show off, hey, listen, first game, we were going for the high ground, didn't necessarily work out.
You talking about the We Trust in God channel? Yeah, I still got that one. Yeah, that's our most viewed video. It was a short that I dropped 2-3 days ago. Yeah, we have that one still. I haven't posted on it in a while. I've just been dealing with a lot of personal stuff. I'm in the process of getting full custody of my oldest son. So we've kind of been slacking a lot on streams because I've just had so much stuff going on with that, and trying to get everything in order and trying to get things situated for that. So that's just why we haven't really been on stream as much as we used to be. But we're gonna start trying to pick that up here over the next couple weeks.
Like just making plays, and you have games 1 where they give 17 elims in a second place. Like, I don't know what's going on, but who knows? Maybe they'll just say, all right, Zeke, just mess with you.
But hey, who knows? Who knows? The way everything's looking, we might end up getting to that 1,000 subscribers soon. Because we gained like 30 subscribers in the past couple days. Nice. I appreciate it. I know he's going to be ecstatic about that.
Using the EU as a blueprint earlier on today was 189 points to get into that top 5. Some of our teams are already close to that threshold, but others, there's still 3 games left. And I was kind of talking throughout the course of that game. There's so much action, not only through the end game, but throughout the entirety of the matches.
And y'all go check out the new video short that I posted today. If y'all ever seen any of those "What Are Y'all Doing" challenges, me and my wife actually done something that's never been done before. We done a "What Are You Doing" challenge via Fortnite. So go check it out. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it personally. So I'm hoping that y'all like it. So go check that out if y'all haven't already. And then the video that hit over 15 or over 12,000 views was the My Precious. Yeah, definitely check that one out.
Could really play a pivotal role throughout game number 5 as we close out the day. But this is
that one is at 12.6.
So hopefully a lot of these teams really
12,655 and still counting. Slowly right now though.
Every single game earn you as much as possible. Victory Royale through. Again, and we talk about when you win the round, new draw spots open up.
Yeah.
Teams get pushed out of the lobby, so there's less to worry about, which means you have more flexibility. If something isn't working, maybe you can kind of adjust your strategy.
Oh yeah.
Jump into the Flooded Frogs, though. King, Void, and Broken in that same standoff as before. This time, it seems like Priscilla learning from the game 2 error there, sticking with the team now. Opting to go in and play the opposite side. And then
yeah, I saw that. I had to get that one and use it.
A little bit earlier here. Give themselves a true chance for game number 3.
That's just the unfortunate thing is just kind of see the loadouts on one side from the other. Bunch of Sentinel pumps for Void Broken.
All right, chat. Match 3. Game 3 out of 5. Winners of the top 5 make it to the grand finals, while the
shields.
6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. They make it to the next round or something like that.
This is essentially the point.
I can't remember what they said about it.
They'll turn things around. After this becomes an uphill battle and really puts all the stress on.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Freddie? How you doing? Oh yeah, I agree. I just wish that Clicks and Peterbot would have been in Group 1. Dude, that would have been epic to have it completely stacked with Pollo, Clicks, and Peterbot. Shoot, we'd have ourselves definitely a good startup. But I mean, either way though, I still ain't gonna knock that end game with that last game. Man, that was stout. That was a classic 110%. Why do you say losers bracket?
They just can't let these damage opportunities, even if they don't get the eliminations pass. And Lucky T is able to get the drop on a 9-19. That's a quick elimination there. Just trying to wait, make sure his teammates are good before it all gets cleaned up as they pounce on the other two players that are going to be left alive. No big eliminations just yet. Here comes Pay, Quick, and Boogeyman. They close the distance in the blink of an eye, and now they have the high ground, which is a huge advantage in these types of fights.
Smart play here. Pay's going to go into the build. It's a little risky for him, but gets the cutoff opportunity here onto Lucky. Now, looking for the sandwich.
So I'm a little lost. Oh, fill me in.
Side angles here. Kind of a lurking opponent of this team here. Boogeyman, though, gets the first full hit there. Amin tries to go around. Not good. Boxed up. Sent back, and then Lucky. Where are you going, buddy?
Nice. Double tap.
It's over for him as well. As fast as it started, that fight concludes. To the south, though, TK's team seems to be hearing what's going on.
I don't know if you heard me, though, but what's up, Freddie? How you doing?
Swinging on up. Meanwhile, Panda, Venox, and Luke come in to the Fluttered Frogs, sticking to their strategy of coming through for fights, but this is the first time there's 6 players up still here. This fight never concluded.
Because the sewer tunnel is underneath, it's not going to be easy for anybody to really get too much of an advantage in some of these fights, especially if they continue to drop down below, but I might have spoke too soon. Does look like Priscilla.
Oh, you talking about when I was, I was probably doing rank, Chapter 5, back before I started actually getting decent at the game, and I was doing a lot of camping. Yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about.
He's not, spotted out there, but no, this team has full awareness. Mafia might be the first to fall. He definitely is. Tex and Hades now has to turn this one around. Nice cone up, but Luke slips out the box with a dash. Well timed for him. Meanwhile, on the low ground, Hades back against the wall, looking for Panda Season. Doing a great job here fending off the team so far.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot better. I haven't been playing a lot as much on builds as I should be, but I've been doing pretty good on like 0 builds. We've been playing a lot of that Blitz. Y'all know that Blitz is actually now going to be a permanent game mode now. It's no longer an LTM.
You have to know that there was so much damage there for them to clean it up, and that's why I liked how aggressive they were actually getting, but just a couple of seconds, it's all it took. They all kind of converged into the same box.
Yeah, Chapter 5, Season 4. That was a good season right there. I prefer Megalodon season, though. That was my favorite. 110%. Yeah. Yeah, the CEO of Epic just recently announced it, that they decided to make it a permanent LTM. Right, I agree. Now I didn't like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles week so that much, but they're gonna have to do something to figure out about it. Because running, constantly having to update every week, I think they'll end up pushing it to probably once a month. They'll probably end up updating it or bi-weekly or something like that to make it easier on them. Yeah. This season, well, I ain't gonna lie. I like last season with the baseball bat. Now I'm not one to spam bats, blades, stuff like that. That's so annoying. But the movement last season was top notch. But I will agree, they've gotten some good movement this season, and all the extra stuff they got going on with it. But more people are playing that Blitz mode now, so you ain't really getting good lobbies that much anymore either.
Alright guys, let's turn
they don't find a fight. Liam, Madden, and Trio just continue.
Civil, can you believe that I've got over 80 crown wins already this season?
After they finish off, I think, an elimination onto Foke. Now they're looking for more, and this is what Kelly was talking about, the AoE with those dash sprites. So now Madden's going to get 3 from somebody else's resources, seeing Woods run away, and that's going to allow them to easily close the distance with the dashes, the surf cube. Liam should be able to put pressure on the Woods here soon.
Surf cube would have been excellent right there to go ahead and kind of surprise Woods, but doesn't even need it.
Yeah, and if y'all don't know, next season is going to be a bug season. I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, you never know. It could end up being something good. Maybe get like a bug that helps us with like mobility item. That's a bug. That'd be funny.
Wrap that one up.
Wondering how a fight like this started. Oh my, Madden with the DMR, 2 back-to-back headshots, just melting the HP and shield, getting the knock, and that kind of basically boosted up the confidence for them to push on over. Back on over to the resistance base side of the map, northwest, and you're seeing at least 4 teams directly here north of the resistance base, and you're seeing at least a solo player on the eastern side of the mini-map. So at least 5 teams kind of converged in this small location. It is in zone, so not too much to worry about just yet, Monster, but if it pulls away, it's going to be tough for this rotation to happen.
Yeah, that was a successful reboot onto Mafia there. So well played for them. They're kind of back in the game, but damage likely to be very, very dire. G-Money, Ryzen, Aviv. Dash is ready to go. Fully in action mode here. Taking their rotates. Pollo, Agers, and Acorn. No strangers to the storm this time, though. Again, looking for a bit more damage than they picked up last round. Oh, they're going straight for it.
Yeah, they know somebody's down there. And typically Canyon's Crossing, if you're in Canyon's Crossing at least, not necessarily landing here, it's almost like a sign of weakness, I should say. You're low on loot, you're looking for scraps, you may not have as much shield or mobility that you were hoping for up to the spot. And I think that's what's kind of building the confidence for Pollo, Agers, and Acorn in this situation. They just have to figure out exactly where they're going to do the superhero rank. That's going to give them a couple of extra heals there at the bottom. If they have the Medmiss smoke, all teams can use them together.
I was gonna say, I like this though. Like, you got this team up top, kind of hidden out here. 2 Medmiss ready to go. So a lot of options, but the moment they drop that, the gig is up.
And they know that's Pollo, Acorn, and Agers because of the medallion. Then I kind of agree with them. You know, wow. I tell people I don't play solos because you're gonna watch me hide in the cone. Well, sometimes hiding in the cone, Monster, is just the best option, especially
look at this.
When that medallion is there.
Look at the map. They allowed their teammate to even get knocked. They're like, nah, we rather res chain. We're not going to Medmiss. We're not going to show them where we're at all. And they wait to the very last second. That is hilarious, but also well played. It was the right decision, clearly.
Kind of almost brings me back to the last major where Peter would drop the medallion for Agers to try to contest clicks. These are the storylines that we're talking about major from major. These are the tricks underneath some of these teams' sleeves that they're waiting for. Group stage might be too early, Monster, you know as well as I do, to show absolutely everything, but at least we're getting a little bit of a tease of what we might see in the Major 3 finals.
Oh, most definitely. There's going to be a lot of small, nuance and plays up the sleeves, especially when you start getting into grand finals lobbies, right? The roster changes. The best teams are in the best drops. There's different predictability at that point. Yeah, grand finals. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be crazy. But Acorn, Agers, and Pollo keeping the pressure here now. We know exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to get a fight going. They find Zonda here the moment they enter.
All right, welcome back, Silver.
Safety of this next area.
And one of the things I've noticed here, actually, that is drastically different from games 1 and 2 is you remember the island spawned over towards Foxy Floodgates. Agers, Pollo, Acorn signed up a line, kind of a triangle in different spots around those mountains and the island to get Surge. There is no island over towards Foxy Floodgates this time around, so they're going to have to change up their strategy. Instead of sitting on the island safe, shooting down for Surge.
Oh, I definitely get that.
A full 180, they're going aggressive. They're fighting team after team after team as they make their way towards that island.
Little hold happening here for Havoc, Jargo, and Silic. team behind them, actually, they don't even have wind of that trio. They're focused more on the fact that
Oh, wow. How long of a drive are y'all going today? 24 hours? That's 14 hours, almost 15 hours now. That's crazy. You're on the East Coast now, right where I am.
See how it plays out for Jargu.
For bad. Reboot happened where you kind of think it's relatively safe over towards the top side of the map. But Booga, Craze, Threats, they always rotate on the slow edge of the zone. And that's where they were able to find 2 more eliminations. It's not a ton.
Oh, wow.
When it comes to that storm surge.
What state y'all going to?
Points, boosting them further and further up the leaderboard. Remember, it's win and you're in through 5 games or the top 5 on that leaderboard through consistency. So every single point matters. So that's a crucial find for them, even if they're not able to find that third and final player.
Y'all going to Tennessee? Y'all probably in North Carolina right about now.
Really set up.
Y'all went straight through my state.
Play this kind of outskirts. You can see off in the distance a player misforming.
Possibly. Y'all may have went through Georgia instead of, and all the way up into North Carolina instead of hitting South Carolina.
Plenty of damage were.
Depending, you may have hit 85.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm in South Carolina.
These fights, and it's in the zone with some elevation towards Flooded Frogs. Got to be very, very careful. Exactly this will happen. Other teams inside of their bases are going to look over and see this as an opportunity to get some free damage, especially since they are so distracted. But Quick Boogeyman to pay. They separate themselves. Even though they try to attach themselves to that elevation, they pull themselves off a little bit because they know the threat of getting.
Yeah, y'all probably up on that interstate right now.
Yeah, Boogie Pay and Quick here definitely making the most out of this game. This is the, I think, furthest we've seen them coming into kind of a mid-game situation here, as their early games were a bit dicey. Threats, Craze, and Booga, though, waiting for storm sickness at this point.
I hear you, man. Yeah, it's good that they got it on iOS now, too.
Talking about Sketch, though. Hold up. Big time. Where's the whites for Threats? Hold up. There it is. Medmiss forced to come out here. That's earlier than they would have liked.
Why'd you quit it until the Star Wars season? Or did you quit it because of the Star Wars season?
The exotic Sentinel pump. And if you guys don't know, every time you hit a shot,
oh yeah, it is.
You 1 or 2 abilities. It gives you kind of the pepper effect, or it slows your opponent down. And in the hands of someone like Poyo, being able to land multiple shots on multiple players throughout the course of a fight, those effects will kind of slow things down on your opponent's foot. Kind of allow someone like Agers and Acorn probably to get the final elimination.
Chapter 5 Season 1 was my first full season back in the game.
Exotic weapon. They have everything that they need and more.
Yeah, one of the best sound effects too. Very rewarding. Hit a tag with that shoddy, but Day here. Coming online, okay. Not bad at all. A little knock to go ahead and give them some cushion to work with. Siphon's going to give them plenty of time to go ahead and decide what's
Yeah, Chapter 5 wasn't that bad, though. Season 1, in my opinion.
On the move here, but
I know, right?
Liz kind of coming back here. OG absolutely spotted out.
That's funny right there. Box this teammate in.
A little bit of a troll for Darcy, giving away the
Oh, yeah.
position, so Boji
Oh, yeah, I play pretty laid back for the most part, to be honest.
cut off. I like the play,
But
Day are coming back.
I don't know.
Using the dashes.
A lot of years of practice. Years of gaming, that's all I can tell you.
Yeah, perfectly timed. They were trying to close the distance. They try to save their teammate. Exactly that. But there's a whole
I just never really understood why people would want to like hang out deep into Storm and fight in Storm and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I'll fight in Storm, but I never really try to hang out in Storm for like 10 minutes of a whole matchup.
That's not going to be a worry in the back of their mind. But Boogie, Pixie, they're below along with Avenger. One of them's going to get knocked. They're get above the damage threshold. They just need to figure out a way to slow things down.
Oh wow, nice. Yeah, I hit Unreal a couple seasons ago in Reload, but after that I kind of like slacked off. I think I got to Elite the following season in Diamond and the rest, but I just kind of like nah, I'm not doing this no more. Builds.
guess, analyze the situation.
I actually ended up clutching up a victory royale in a champion lobby.
Positional awareness as well.
Me and Code Red ran one, and he went down a little late into the. Well, I think it ended up being like a 1v7 for me, and I ended up clutching up and getting a dub.
And somewhat realizing, Monster, that timing is of the essence. You want to start to rotate quick, especially if you already have accumulated that storm surge throughout the course of that game, because you don't want to.
But yeah, I hadn't done ranked in a while. Well, other than zero builds, I played a little bit with my nephew a couple weeks ago.
That's how far this zone is. Everyone's like, all right, you know what? They don't know we're here. I'm good with that. Let's rotate. Finally, now Ager's Acorn employee comfortable enough to start turning on the gas pedal. Coin dropped right there for the
Nice.
They gotta move though.
But yeah, I think the best I got in majority of them was Diamond 1. But other than that, I got Unreal and Champion. No, Unreal and Elite in 2 different seasons and Reload.
Of Ager's Acorn and Pollo, something you wouldn't necessarily expect, especially considering he's one of the best IGLs. His bait, Ian, Mikado's 175 below the damage threshold.
Oh yeah, I hear you on that one. Controller playing, it's kind of difficult to aim. Like, slow and steady aim, like when you're trying to get a precise aim in. But quick aiming is pretty easy.
Oh no. Couldn't survive much longer, it seems. Falls into storm there.
Okay.
Aiden and Hal team are going to be the gatekeepers here on the edge. Peeking out, don't quite catch visuals onto Moncadios, but hey, this player's 390 below. It's a matter of time. Let's just see who's going to go ahead and find
Yeah, Billy's not too bad. I was practicing.
Aegis gets awarded.
Hey, that's Polio. I was practicing on keyboard and mouse for a little bit, but kind of fell back. But oh yeah, Mammoth. Yeah, I agree. I'm really good with Mammoth. But yeah, I can't do that simple edit at all. It confuses me. But I'm okay. I wouldn't say I'm good, but I'm okay when it comes to editing. You know, it's still going to take some more practice for me. Work my fingers, try to be a little bit faster, but it's difficult to build and edit. Well, really edit when it comes to the you know, switching back and forth from edit to your weapon to shooting back to your edit, all that. It's just too much. When it on the keyboard and mouse, it's just like 3 buttons, maybe a scroll wheel or something, depending on how you got it set up. Yeah. Hey, it's TK.
Also below the surge, what all went wrong for them?
At least they're above now, 32. Playing the disaster down below, continuing to trade shots. Any damage is better than none. Now looking off to the distance, seeing a full.
What you mean, huh?
But because of that misform, they're going to be relatively safe. Majority of that way through. No shots able to sneak in, but 98 above. They're figuring out a way to just get a few shots to connect, even if it's not a massive confidence-building moment. As a V rise, G Money able to steal away that elimination, almost 1,000 damage above the threshold. Elimination.
Yeah, it's TK.
Surge. It's about resources.
A lot of mats fall in there. Isla, Larson, and TK find a refresh as well, and another team. What just unfolded for this squad is kind of going through enemy builds. That's the danger. Gotta be careful there. Bila levels up to his layer. And now all of a sudden they're really.
Come on, TK, you gotta get an elimination.
Zone's gonna pull further and further.
Yeah, it's not TK. It's just their name's TK.
Seem to be in full control at the moment of the end game here. Another team is gonna fall to them. It's Boji. Seems like it was just a matter of time. Jack caught there 2 days.
Yeah, half of these people I never heard of. They only got 6 limbs this matchup. First matchup, they had 17 limbs and lost to somebody who only had 3 limbs.
Well, now we got to go ahead and get 2 games worth of points here. If not the victory royale, they can take the rest of the day off. As we
Yeah, well, for TK, it's just TK. But, that one is TKAY. Not as much as I used to. Every now and again I will, but not really like that. Yeah. 2 a.m. cheese. Must like eating cheese at 2 a.m.
Names left in the lobby like Boyo Aegis, Acorn, G-Money, Rise, and of course, being very much situated there ahead of them. So I'm a bit concerned, but so long as Boyo, Acorn, and Aegis stay on the logo.
Yeah. We never really got a lot of people on that map though. I wish we could have stacked that map up. I'm honestly, I want to create one of them like a reload map, but I was thinking about it a couple weeks ago that I should focus on putting that one as a reload map instead of the Castle Royale. And I think honestly that would probably get more in it. But yeah, the floating island would bug out, and even if it was placed and some people could see it, some people that were still on the ground that never went up to it could see through it and shoot through it. So yeah, I may just change it completely over to a reload map, but I won't be doing no duo, trios, or squads.
Right in front to a team above. Pays getting targeted out. That's Craze who actually gets the elimination points for that, even though it's Rise, G-Money, and the trio is able to get all of that loot for that.
Yeah, it was, man.
Acorn still dominating the low ground. It's 2,000 above the threshold. It's more about winning a game. It's about winning a point. It's about making a statement for them.
Argo Havoc and Scylla. Another team we got to look out for here. No strangers to high ground. They got Mistform as well.
Probably like a 3 life, no timer.
All this low ground layer 2, Sandman's once again Northern, kind of sneaking into the conversation. We haven't said much about them, but they've been.
Well, maybe I don't know how I do a timer. I don't know. It's something I can debate on. Talk with TK about.
Double Elim worth of points there earned already here. Really starting to rack up.
What's up, TK? Hey, Civil's up on the screen.
Oh, hello.
He subscribed to your channel.
No.
And we lost one just a second ago. I don't know how, but. But yeah, it'd probably be like a. It'd probably be like a 3 life. Far as he said hi. I don't know. I have to debate on that about adding the timer. I mean, I know how to. It would make it difficult because the class changes after startup.
G-Money and Rise don't think of placement points here. I think they're just trying to say, hey, look, we can solidify our way to grand finals.
I just have to figure out the kinks to it because, like if you win and you got the medallion, you would end up, if you win with the medallion, you would end up having the medallion effect still the next matchup. So, and that's with the only thing that is the classes. So I have to figure out how to set it up where they automatically start off in regular class.
Acorn cutting off the path on the other side as well. Poyo's just following, say, hey, where do you need me, Captain? Even Ager's almost getting boxed up. But Poyo there to save the day yet again, dropping the medallion, changing hands, making sure that Ager's healthy because they know how chaotic this end game is. And Jargo's feeling it as well. 2 of his teammates both go down. That's a lot of pressure.
All right, y'all, in game. We all in that in game now.
Up, down, all around, inside of his cover. The zone is going to be the one after all to take him down.
Couldn't even shoot his way out. Aviv, though, trying to do the same misforms his way out the back half of the box there.
Acorn, Poyo, come on.
Sixth place so far.
Come on, Poyo.
Rumbled for him a moment ago. Waiting for that misform to go in and turn online here. Siphon was available, but doesn't get it in time there. Couldn't find the shot. Meanwhile, Booga threats and Craze. We haven't gone up to what's happening there, but Boyo Adrian say, give us a second, we'll show you.
Yeah, that was crazy. I had to nerf that. Wait. No!
It should be their game to win. It's a 3v1 happening here.
Looks like Booga's gonna win round match 3.
close the deal.
Dang,
Stands
Pollo.
out, boxes him out, finishes the game with a nice tag and a shotgun shot there, and they'll be going straight to the grand finals.
Yeah, that's almost history.
Yeah,
Making. That is a
that's crazy.
26 grand finals appearance for Bugha, only missing out on one. And on the other side, that's crazy. The newest player on this team, they made a decision, him or Rapid, and so far it's working out. That's going to be his 5th FNCS final appearance.
Very good game by them. You know, they played it very well. Textbook, as one might
Well,
say.
Bugha was one of those ones that I wanted to win.
Acorn, you know, bravo. You know, he was like, hey, we know who's on high. Let's just go take a full-on fight. Let's have some fun with this one. And Pollo tries to pull out the edit course, but in the end, the Rats, though, plays it so well. Shuts him down there.
Right there was just kind of the Antiques. Yeah, he was able to at least get, I think, an elimination point on top of that. And for Teeks, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. He pulled up, was able to get a good amount of placement points, but it's Bugha, Threats, and Crades that made their way to the grand final. Zeke, there's only 2 spots left, though.
Why would you say that, Jacob? Why would you remind me that we don't have many games left? You're supposed to just let me look through my rose-colored glasses, okay? All right? Also, because Bugha won, you know there's only one thing I have to do. Congratulations, Bugha. We're going to be seeing you in grand finals, baby. Let's go. Oh, you thought I was going to do... No. See? See, you got to keep your toes.
You got me. You did get me.
That was good. That was good. That was surprising. And not as surprising, though, is seeing Threats, Craze, and Bugha get the win on 8th. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Thank you, Zeke. And much as we could predict that coming out, we could also predict the win coming from Bugha, Craze, and Threats. I mean, they just had pretty good games 1 and 2, but once they finally took the high ground in game 3, we knew that it was done and dusted for this trio. There was very little that could stand in their way, but what could stand in their way is Pollo's trio, but it kind of looked like Pollo's trio just kind of went up for fun, Pivot, if I could say that accurately, and just went for the W key to see what would happen.
You know, testing out the waters, seeing, you know, who's up on high, seeing if they could pull out one of the little montage highlights right there. But, hey, listen, Bugha, Threats, and Craze, putting all my worries away, 'cause I'm not going to lie, after game number 2, I didn't get to talk about it. Seeing them in 19th place, I was like, are they okay? Is everything going to be okay? Like, are they going to, you know? But, you know, winning game number 3, closing all of those doubts for me. Congratulations, Bugha, Threats, and Craze. No surprise.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised Pollo and them are still in there.
Moment where my faith kind of wavered, but I thought, you know what? No. This is everything's fine. And then when I saw, you know, the Threats one piece up, I said, you know what? It's good. We locked it up. We're gonna be seeing them in finals, so that's what we have to look forward to. Now, of course, as Jacob said, with only 2 games left to go in group number 1, how does this go? I mean, who else gonna get a VR? Who's gonna end in top 5? Well, for now, we would go to a break. When we return, though, game number 4 awaits us, so stay tuned.
Real quick, guys. So, I'm going to be looking at trying to run the broadcast schedule to the 26th, the 27th, the 2nd, and 3rd. I'm going to try to run the same thing, what I'm doing now, and get all 5 of those. Yeah, all 5 of those on stream. But yeah, the finals for sure.
Welcome back to the FNCS. We are excited. We are very excited because the last game, Booga got himself a victory royale, which means they're going straight through the grand finals. Congratulations to them. But there's still kind of these other two trios that seem to all be kind of fighting it out, and only ones that are left: Aviv, G Money, and Rise, Acorn, Agers, and Poyo. So I'm assuming, if my script is correct, one of these trios will win game 4, the other will win game 5. But Aviv, Rise, and G Money, man, they've just been really, really great. So like just in group number
He said
1,
if this script is
they've
correct.
been also incredibly consistent, not dropping a game outside of top 5, which is kind of crazy.
It is a little bit crazy when you kind of look at the competition that's entering group number 1. But then when you look at Rise, G-Money, and Vive, and you kind of see the expertise that they have, the veteran knowledge of the game, you can understand why they are playing the low ground like they are. They are doing such a good job kind of following the rest of the lobby for these early game regressions and using those misforms right when they need to. Aviv just plays so smartly in these end games, making sure that he's staying alive, but also paying attention to where the rest of the lobby is. And I think a lot of that is due to him playing the mid ground. A lot of players like to play the low ground, going for those elims, but he likes to play the mid ground, which is just a little bit safer, but also allows you to have a lot more observation of what's going on below you.
Yeah, in those clutch moments before, but as a trio, right, when they were alive, they did something so good in game number
Welcome back.
3 right there that actually went ahead and clinched up that top 5 for them right there. Basically, what they're going to want to do is just continuously put themselves in the front of the moving zone, right? Not necessarily inside of the zone, but actually...
Yeah, I kind of figured that happened.
The zone is going to go. Whoa, how can they do that? How can they just set out in the storm? Because of the med miss, right? They had a couple of these this game, and they continuously kept doing this. Unfortunately, though, for the trio, right, I saw them, I believe it was on this one. Once they landed in the storm, they just got sprayed by so many different teams, right? It was so hard for them to kind of maintain and get anything kind of better than a top 5. You would imagine, though, continuously finding positions like that, they would actually be able to get something better than a top 5. Hey, 5th place is great, but it's just like, man, they were in the best position so many times, but yeah, that pressure just ended up being too much.
It's all good, though, right? It's all good because they're still looking strong. 5th place right there, which is effectively 2nd. I know at times it can be confusing, but just think if we end in the top 10 overall of this leaderboard, that's basically our top 5, right?
4.
They are looking great. We only have 2 games left to go. I mean, look at the
Rise and
differential. We
5th.
just got to keep doing what we're doing. And, of course, Agers, Acorn, and Poyo. Yeah. So, I think, listen, we've seen some very...
With a win, you get 1,000 points. So that automatically puts you in. It gives you enough points to advance. So, Victory Royale in this sense is 1,000 points.
I feel like we're having a good time. We're having a good time. They're still 1st place. I think it's fine, right?
Zeke, it's Sunday, which is commonly laundry day, and these boys are washed right now. I think it's over for them.
Yeah, once you win, if you get a Victory Royale, it automatically puts you in to the grand finals. So you don't have to play anymore. I don't think you're even allowed to play anymore, to be honest with you.
They're kind of seeing what the rest of the competition is doing. They already know that
I hear you, but so those ones that got in the Victory Royales up to this point, they're done. Their matchup for Major 3 is done. So they're automatically going to Grand Finals. So they're moved out to make way for those to play. I think he's going to be in Group 2 or Group 3. Well, I mean, he is going to be in Group 2 or Group 3. But now, I know that Typical Gamer has been running the FNCS as well. But I don't know if he qualified for Major 3.
That's what I made up in my mind. I hope you do the same thing. Okay, anyway, game number 4 is ready, okay? Only 2 games left to go before we say goodbye for today. So, casters?
What you mean?
There's only 2 games left.
Jake, I was just going to say,
yeah, he is.
That few teams like Acorn,
yeah, I'd like to see him make it to LAN.
Decide, hey, I'm just gonna
which this year is going to be in Lyons, France. I forget how you pronounce it, but it's going to be in France. Yeah, that was epic right there. That's been the talk of Fortnite for since it happened.
throughout the rest of these groups, but game number 4, 2 games left. Let's get right into the action.
Yeah, I think he is in it.
This is where it really starts to get interesting here. With these 2 games left, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, Monster. 2
Honestly, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Possible top 5.
Here, let me look it up right quick.
Finals and having to play through that LCQ. That is elimination difference. That's a singular placement point of difference. And then we haven't even touched on the topic of any of the teams inside of the top 5 get a win. That opens up a spot at the bottom of that consistency.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, Agers, Acorn, Boyo clearly have enough points to go ahead and hold a top 5 spot. If they just decide, hey, we're going to just like be very casual these next couple rounds, right? Really just play it out, try to continue to refine our strategies. They're going to take away a spot to the grand finals easily from someone else. But at the same time, they're kind of teeing up another team to take a dub. Right? So it's kind of an interesting dynamic. In any case, we will be seeing them at the grand finals. That's very clear. And one thing's for certain, everyone else that's not in that like 120 plus threshold point area right now, you got to turn online. You need a win.
Yeah, 100%. This is kind of like one of those teams that I'm looking at as well that lands over here for the most part, contested drop. They're outside of that bubble as of now, but if they're able to win these fights,
yeah, that would be something.
Those third parties come in, some of the games past, this could be.
So it was Leo and Zen Quinn.
This is where they're going to look to get aggressive and try to.
But I don't know if they made it to
so far on today's games, barring a third party, as Ian takes the first shot.
Major three.
An opportunity to separate the rest of this team and try to converge with the numbers advantage. Back-to-back shots yet again coming out from King as they get another elimination and the eventual wipe.
And they're doing good right now. 122 points. That team wipe right there is going to propel more cushion for them.
Oh no, Daddy's on screen, buddy.
All they need here is a big end game, and they'll be a true shoe into the grands. On the other side, look at what's happening here. Again, this is a team that is like, played exceptional, right? You can just tell by their end game strategy, their positioning, all the highlights that they've managed to pull through so far. Clearly a cut above the rest. The BG Money and Rise could become the first on NAC to place top 5 in all 5 group games, right? Possibly setting up a little historic run for themselves.
Especially since a couple of these guys are in the top 5 for overall damage throughout the course of these games.
49.
Avenger do find another elimination here down below on that low ground. Full team up above on that mountain, and even on the inside, you see Cinemod in there just trying to get whatever loot is left behind. Have to be careful. Boogie knows now that somebody's here. Breaks that field. Cinemod just revealed his positioning in a 2v1. You know they're going to push forward. You know they want to try to seal the deal here.
Like the pressure coming out of Boogie Vixie. Getting up. Gotta finish this quickly, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing so far.
Cinemod, tag from behind. There it is. What just happened there? I'm sniping that one up.
Oh, and it's 946 points for a victory royale.
So they're doing a good job right now being able to push them back, but there's some arrows right behind. They're able to get a little bit of damage, but basically pushes himself into a 3v1. Teammates are there to try to close the gap. That's not Braden trying to alleviate some of that pressure, forcing both Boogie, Vixie, and hopefully Avenger's able to get down there as well. I don't want to kind of leave him out to dry. It does look like for a moment they did. Just a sliver of HP, Monster. How mad would you be at your teammates?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I was seeing where it says something about he competed in the major 3 play-in, but it's unclear if he advanced to the finals. In day 2, session 2, ranked 53rd, but in cumulative standings, he ranked 49th with his team.
Braden falls for the same thing. He's forced to go up and try to hide. Boogie's doing a good job of fighting back, but 3 versus 1. It doesn't take a mathematician to know that's just odds are so stacked against you. And now with that, they are going to be able to get Braden back on up. There's a reboot at the top of where they're currently at, so they should waste no time getting to it.
Keeping things interesting here. Look at that. What a clean little play right there. Getting fancy with it, using the zip line and everything. Oh no, we were celebrating Pay 14 Boogeyman and Quick's endgame last round. Look at that, they picked up 50 points last game or so, and right now the pressure coming through. Venox, Luke, and Panda find themselves almost in the quite literal same point threshold, so they're neck to neck here. Pay trying to escape now, but
Yeah, I actually didn't get to see it. I was looking that up about Typical Gamer, so I missed it.
Pull something big off right here. Gets cut off. Doubles back through the builds. Collapsed on. Suffocated. And now about to get finished here.
Oh,
Boogie,
sorry, chat.
you can see in the distance just
Sorry about that, chat.
for his tournament life here in game number 4.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Boogie took so much damage to start that fight. He immediately ran away. And when Pei went to try to alleviate some of the pressure, they say, you know what, that's a 3v1. Just turn around, burn him down. And that's exactly what they did. But Boogie, if he has some extra HP, whether if it's a Chug Jug, Medmist Smoke,
Yes,
Medmist,
sir.
it's not going to be hard for him to get his teammates
Yeah, I got the OG pickaxe too.
Shogun's Arena, the island does appear, and it's going to be.
I actually got quite a few new skins, emotes,
If they survive the contested
and a few other things.
we're going to see in the major grand finals, this is exactly what they're going to be looking for as step 2
Yeah,
in their journey.
finally, right?
Yeah, they're having no problems. I mean, like we said
Nope.
before, what they're looking to is the land of gold. Let's be honest, right? Even this major right here is a matter of, one might even say, ego and preparation, right? So everything that I'm seeing right now is clearly pointing to the bigger picture.
Yeah, Pointators top 2 in damage
Yeah.
after 3 games, 4,200 damage and 41.
I wish I would have gotten Psycho Bandit when he came back to the item shop the first and second time he came back.
Making sure that he stays one of the best IGL.
I missed it literally by a day, by one day.
Northern and 20 towards Supernova. They were able to get some damage early on. I did see a knock go out into the distance. And with his own pushing from north all the way towards the south, they're not going to make it a priority to rotate early. They're just going to make sure to look back at every single one of these teams just like this, knowing they're going to have to rotate first.
Quick update here.
TK.
Larson by the TK, doubling back for an elimination now. They find just on the skirts of the zone.
You help me.
Going to be 2 from whatever trio they were kind of engaged on.
Just another one of those zones that looks like it's pushing all the way towards the south, and I wonder how telling that island actually is, because you see last game it didn't.
Yeah, I got me the spark plug. I got aura,
This time around, Foxy does have
ghost
the
mops,
island. It looks
but
like
I got ghost mops from the gift card. It's a free skin
around this
with the
area.
gift card.
Kappa Factory, field, the direction they're looking at, even
Chun-Li, of course.
where a new team honestly
Oh,
could
yeah.
be positioned at as Booga, Craze, and Threats did win that last game.
Oh, most definitely. That's a dynamic that is for sure taking place right now. I mean, yeah, you know, you got to think about that too, right?
Yeah, but I've played with Sparkplug a few times and probably only got like 2 or 3 wins with her. But playing with Chun-Li, I've been getting a lot of wins with her. So I've been sticking around with her for now.
G-Money and Aviv, of course, securing the spot.
Honestly, as far as my favorite skin, are you talking about the skins that are actually in Fortnite right now, or the skins that are working its way to it?
Rightfully so, they kind of won
Ari.
fight. You see
Ari
a lot
won
of
that.
eliminations, just trying to make sure that they get
I say the typical gamer skin when it finally does come out. It's supposed to be coming out soon, but I don't know when.
They don't know what is left behind, so just trying to check, make sure. You see a med kit up there. That one's
Be honest with you, I really don't have a favorite Fortnite skin right now. I just kind of play with what the ones that I like. Not really just like got my number 1 pick yet.
Away from Lone Wolf Lair. They're just trying to go towards the north, rotate towards
Which one's
the north,
yours?
and then try to find a spot they feel comfortable in from there.
Hey, I was gonna say, what kind of play is that? Taking the 1 med kit, but they're close to the edge. Bala should be picking up the miss form there in a couple moments. Bit of a standoff there.
Manager.
Man. Ooh, attacks from the side. Don't let your guard.
I don't know if I know that one.
Even I'm scratching my head like, where did that even come from? Probably top of the bridge. In a cloud. Maybe even the bush here from Madden. Just goes to show, like, how dangerous Mars are. And throughout the course of the game, if
I know which one you're talking about. Squid Games, yeah. Yeah, I don't really care much for. I mean, it's not that I don't care for Squid Games. I just don't really care for the skins for Squid Games, or really Squid Games in particular. TK started watching an episode of it, and they used the Lord's name in vain in it. So, nope, don't care for it.
I don't know how I feel about their overall
Yeah.
performance so far. 69 points on the
I get that. I feel you there.
here for them. Pretty tough game. Tight. 2 games left ahead of them. Ski and Woods, though, at the Utopia City.
Honestly, my favorite. Honestly, I take that back. My favorite skin is Naruto. Now, if Naruto comes back to the item shop and I can get that skin, dude, I'll be wearing it all the time.
Just be going downhill for them.
Yeah.
This team's got to be careful. There's another team directly in Utopia. You see in the mini map, both on top and bottom, potential teams as well. Luckily for them, they are kind of in the center of the zone, so unless they're forced to be proactive for Storm Surge, which chances are one of the teams probably might be, they really don't have to risk too much at this stage in the game. Everybody else, though, you see Void, Broken, King still rotating in from the north. There's one more team over from Pump Power.
Yeah, I've watched every single episode of Naruto, Naruto Shippuden, Boruto, all the Naruto movies. Dude, I'm excited for right. I'm excited for the IRL Naruto movie. It's supposed to be coming out next year. Dude, I cannot wait. I'm ecstatic for that one. But I'm just curious as how it's going to go because it's actually an American-owned movie. It's not a Japanese-owned movie.
Yeah, it's not much, but that superhero rank upgrade, you see kind of the HP going up one.
Yeah, it is. I'm actually curious at who they're going to have playing as Madara. Rumor has it that Tom Holland's going to be Naruto. But that's just a rumor right now. I agree. I agree 110%.
Trying to disengage with the dashes, but it's only going to help for so much. Agers is still going to be able to get that down. I think
what you mean by
clean that one up.
Where'd I confuse you?
Yeah, down body at the bottom of the builds as well. Yikes. Agers, interesting enough, every time we tune into him, he's got this.
The Tom Holland part is playing Naruto. Yeah, no, I don't like the idea of that.
Whose role is what?
I agree wholeheartedly. Now, I'm not knocking Tom Holland by no means. He done an amazing job as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. But there was another movie I watched with him in it. He was really good in. But I just don't see him playing a Naruto character at all.
On the outskirts as well, on the western edge. Everybody right now on the north end, even on the northwestern edge of the map. Still trying to find their
honestly, I couldn't even think of a good character.
Is going to be so clustered.
Yeah.
Got to see the huge difference already.
Yeah, I could see him as Obito.
Relatively nobody here on this side of the map. That's just because they're all on the north.
Just
Happening on the outskirts.
or heck, even Shikamaru. It'd make a good Shikamaru.
They're playing ultra dead side. They're going all the way around here. Not looking to take any risk to the spire. For the shrine here.
Nah.
Go ahead and replenish up. Still got a med
Oh.
too, so we'll be just fine.
Honestly, I couldn't think of any good characters for each of them
They, for some reason, need damage.
off the top of my head. But my honest opinion, though, is
They gotta have to hurry up and get in there, 'cause even if
I really wish that they would have
even 300, we know in the next couple zones
would have left it with the Japanese and let them take care of that movie. Give us a sub and a dub version.
Whatever is going to be left over. Brilliant Aiden Hound. They have the blueprint for success so far today. Even though they haven't been able to execute and get that victory royale,
Yeah.
they're close.
Get up.
They could just figure out a way
There's
to
drink right
make
here.
that, replicate
There's
some of
only
that
10
success
here.
here.
Exactly. And they would have been able to get better picks for the characters.
They have the
Uh,
option to rotate early, get towards the zone, or wait and accumulate more surge as other teams.
I told
I agree. Give me just one moment.
Not have picked up a lot of eliminations, but the placement points are very much kind of shining through on the overall points here. Same for Mafia, Tex, and Hades. This game, actually, surprisingly, they don't have any early game elims. They have been one of the few teams that have been consistently battling off the drop. Team right on their heels, though. They might just be getting collapsed on here shortly. There's two angles at which this can all go down. Tex gets tagged from the west side here. The team
All right, I'm back.
stops moving in their tracks. Like, wait a second, we don't want to get caught in between this game.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Hollywood and all them, they can do good work on movies.
I know we have the
But
same
as far as,
how many teams are on
you
there
know,
that they're rotating towards as well.
how well they're going to do it,
82 below the damage threshold.
hard to say.
Instead of focusing on just getting storm surge, they're going to try to get in towards the zone first, find a spot that they feel comfortable with, and that's where they're going to try to accumulate some damage.
Yeah.
Maybe even on this edge, knowing there is a team behind them because that
Uh-oh.
shot that we saw earlier on.
Oh, yeah.
Opportunity might be the only safe one at least. Koyo Ager's Acorn. They already have the medallion from the island, and they have Havoc down as well. Their destruction of group number one continues.
Flexing at this point. 1,000 above here.
Yeah. Well, I honestly think they could have probably done better with them in the
Mafia hates the Tex, though.
actual show itself.
I like that lurking play they were trying to set up.
And like where we're at right now in the Boruto series. Have you watched the Boruto series yet, Sybil?
Boogeyman there. Missed that it now. Trying to keep them exposed. Team Flyers back though. And there it is. They're pushing that solo that he saw.
Yeah, I think they kind of saw him at the last second.
Oh, so I can't ruin something for you. Honestly, if I was you, I'd watch the series.
50 or so to 180
Um,
plus the elimination.
That way you can kind of catch up to what's actually going on Naruto's side of things too. But I can't quite say it and ruin it. I don't want to ruin it. But honestly, I liked it. I didn't mind it too much. I just think that they overpowered Boruto. That's just my opinion. But it is a good series in my opinion. It just, you know, there's some things that they could have worked on to make it a little bit better. Not yet. I want to.
Get them back in the game here, but 500 below the threshold there. I mean, there's only so much you can do. Especially
Yeah.
this late into the mid-
Yeah, they actually done away with that device pretty much. I will say that much. That device no longer is in active use in the series.
Sharpen their steel.
But they're working on Blue Vortex now for Boruto. And I hear that one's going to be epic. And it's going to be a lot more overpowered to it. But I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah. But I just wish that there would have been some more understanding on why that happened.
This is not going to be easy at all.
Yeah, they did get that superhero upgrade throughout the course of that, but exactly what you said, 403. That's more than 2 full eliminations worth of damage. And it's just going to continue to get worse. The zone pulled towards the south, 456. They have an
No.
idea of a team right below.
That much I will say. Naruto is not
They
dead.
haven't got the green line yet, and the more time that they
Or
waste on
eliminated,
situation,
if you
the harder it's gonna
will.
be to get the surge and survive the rotation.
That A rank definitely giving them a lot of time alive. They're kind of playing with house money here, but tagged on the rotate. That's the setback. You got to be careful with the surge, of course, starting to add up here.
There is some details in that
They can do something
that
this team, no, they were waiting, ready.
I'm not going to answer.
Kind of block the
Because I don't know where you're at in the series.
This is it. Woods comes down ever so brief.
The one that got stabbed in the eye was Sasuke.
Stay alive in the game. There it is.
By
Might
Boruto.
be doing it somehow, some way. I mean, just a couple more seconds to survive, kind of live to see another day.
Just need Storm Surge to deactivate for a moment. Give him a chance to breathe and refocus their attention onto something else as Luke, Vinox, and Panda Season is just rotating away. That is their Storm Surge if they have any hope of getting it. And Hades,
The one thing that I will say that I didn't like about the Boruto series is all the powers that Sasuke has. They really didn't use it that much.
Oh my gosh. There it is.
Like, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. I saw him go down. I'm not too concerned. Gained 50 of the past 2 weeks and lose 2. Yeah, it's no biggie. They come back. They don't, and I wish the best for them. It's all good. It used to happen a lot. I used to get, yeah, I was. I used to get very upset about it or bothered about it, but I don't let it bother me too much because it's a stepping stone to it. I mean, you gotta look at it like this. People like Typical Gamer and Nick 30, they gain thousands and lose thousands each day. So it's bound to happen.
Aviv's team somehow pulls off the victory royale because that kind of ushers everything upward. It opens up a spot at the bottom of consistency, and with how close it is, it could be anybody's game. Void, Broken, and King, one of those teams that
in game
started this game at about I think it was consistency leaderboard overall, so they're definitely within reach inside
Ari won. But Saturday, yeah, I told you about Saturday. You missed the wall behind you, buddy.
You're just seeing the update of all the teams that are kind of in the running, but just having a really tough game 4.
Yeah, this is. I feel like every team that is in.
Yeah, he used to say he was family friendly, but he does not act family friendly at all.
That's a blessing. That just means the overall standings to be that much closer.
We're doing a hide and seek $15 gift card giveaway.
Just yet, but that can change in the next couple seconds.
Yeah, if there's any time to stay consistent, get the big points is here and now, while so much of the bubble teams are potentially looking to fall here. I mean, those points around that 110 to 130 area is the sweet spot here for top 5 so far. Plenty more to earn though. Top 15 left here. 197 below for Jargo and Silic. Good defense from Madden though. And
yeah, I would say what it is that he does, but yeah, I'm not gonna mention that because it would then turn me to an unfriendly side of things.
He's just simply trying to survive, but he gets caught out. 213 no Aiden, Hound, Crew.
Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. He's very inappropriate with his skins, I will say that much.
But this is something we've seen already in games past. Hopefully they learned from their mistakes as destruction continues down below. Agers looking to claim another one as they're putting pressure from box to box. Polio also closing in on that distance. Finally, they steal away one of those pieces and they take down Mako right after. That's a win.
All right, brother. It's good talking to you, man. Glad to hear from you again, and I hope to see you soon, man. God bless, and enjoy your vacation, man. Y'all be careful when y'all drive back too. Hey, are you on Discord?
They are popping off here and now. High ground, of course, Aviv, Rise, and G Money situated comfortably. Void, Broken, and Kingdom. They've had a good run so far, and they're eyeing up an opportunity.
Yeah, if you're in Discord, Civil, send me a message and let me know that y'all made it. That y'all made it back home safely from y'all's trip.
Of the situation of our high ground trio.
I think it truly is, and that's exactly why they put so many pressure on the second high team. But down below, Foil able to clean up one elimination. But up above, that's a whole nother trio, but they're not backing down. In fact, they're moving forward step by step, just walking them down. One elimination has already been cleaned up. Two more trying to go out the side. Agers does have that cape, so he can be able to mitigate damage from the storage soon. Hound goes down. Aiden's going to be stuck with Carillion, trying to clutch this one out, and he finds a crucial elimination before falling.
Carillion trying to cap off here. Player right beneath him. Can he get the tag? Nicely done there. It's on today in the finish. And on the other side of the wall, another one waiting to happen, but Raw answers with a bigger tag.
Acorn.
In the game. Meanwhile, the VG Money and Rise, watching this all go down, they have no more mats, mind you, unless they've managed to find some way to pick something up. Yeah, look, they are completely on E here. What's the play for them? Acorn coming up. Yeah, this team has so many builds.
Oh, y'all. Come on.
GG. Acorn just cranking his way up. They want to win this game here and now.
Come on, Acorn. Come on, Pollo.
Doing it by himself because
Lift it up.
He's kind of stuck. He's busy. His hands full with a whole nother team. They're separated, working as individuals. Rao gets flanked by Aviv, who gets flanked by somebody else. But if you look up, Acorn has done just enough. Exactly what you were talking about. They expended every material until they were fresh out, going up against Acorn, who's not slow in his role. He's ready to fight. He knows the med miss smoke is a sign of weakness, but he bites off more than he can chew. He's going to go down, but Pollo's by himself.
Oh, Pollo. No! Come on, Pollo. You're better than that, buddy.
Aviv, Rise, and G Money managed to survive the onslaught with no mats. And in the end, Core.
Aviv, Rise, and Money.
Pressed on the low ground, hearing it all go down. Also, no material. This is just going to be a full-on clash here of a 3v3. And then there's one lurking nearby. Could be Ralphin, who's playing his zone. That big tag from him kind of in the mix here. Yeah, he's found himself.
Stuck right in between them.
Hey, he's got material for everyone else here, though. He seems like he misformed up to the top, so keeping things interesting. There goes the delivery. Aviv comes around, using that misform to get up above. I like the edit, and it's just chaos.
Ooh, GG. Nice end game.
They secure the dub.
Nice.
Smooth walking across that finish line. They
All right, chat. We're going into the last game, and Pollo's, Aviv, and their other teammate are not yet in. Oh, they gotta get the dub here.
At the end, even might not have picked up the most eliminations, but the damage he dealt was a huge difference maker for them.
Definitely was, and you know, I was looking at the material counts for G Money, Rise, and Aviv, and I'm like, wait a second, two of them have nothing, but it seemed like they funneled everything into Aviv, so Aviv kind of was the win condition at one point, but look at the kickoff there. G Money really opening up this battle, getting that initial elimination, allowing Aviv to go ahead and finish up the job. Well played for them, and Victor Royale for Aviv, G Money, and Rise send them straight to Grand Final. Zeke, that was match number 4.
The big cheese of Aviv, G Money, and Rise going straight through to Grand Finals. You love to see it. Also, that bird form, the kind of drop down shot, bird form back up, pop back out, drop down shot. Okay, all right. That's the swaggiest thing I think I've seen today. That's it.
No, I swore that Alfred Hitchcock is writing this script right now because it's just birds everywhere. But obviously, we all knew that Aviv, G Money, and Rise were going to be coming out, going into the grand finals, because these first 3 games, they have just performed so well. They got a 5th, a 2nd, and a 3rd, and what better way to round out their day than getting that victory royale on height that we've seen them kind of testing the waters a little bit, but finally confidently grabbing that height and just running away with it, Vivid.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Kinch that we got to see come through that game as well, right? He's like, oh, you know, Rise, Aviv, and G Money could be the first team to get top 5 in all 5 of the group games, and yeah, that's right there is why it's so hard for a team to actually kind of do that. Because if you're good enough to get top 5 in 5 of the games, then you're probably good enough to go ahead and win one as well, right? So, of course, Rise, G Money, and Aviv winning. They're not going to be playing match number 5. Can't get top 5 in all 5 games if you can't play all 5. But yeah, I mean, incredible stuff for them. And, you know, we'll see it in a little bit here, but the leaderboard effects of one of those very, very consistent teams winning a game shuffles things up.
That's right, Vivid, and we'll see that after this short break. With only 1 game left to go, and now a top-performing team making it through on a Victor Royale. What does that mean? Well, stay tuned, and you'll find out. Man, this is it. The last game of group number 1. How did we get here? Let's just, you know what? Just gonna wipe everything. We're gonna start over. All right, this is now game 1. A good thing I don't have the power to do that. Game number 5 is right around the corner, but we wanted to just highlight a couple things from game number 4. Maybe you just missed it, but Aviv got himself the Victor Royale. G-Money, Rise, we'll see that trio heading straight through to grand finals not too long from now. But there's a couple, well, there's one last trio that hasn't got a VR that, you know, they're still performing the way we'd expect to perform. I guess, will we see Ager's, Acorn, and Pollo get a VR in game number 5? What do you guys think?
You know what's so funny is that during rehearsal, we even joked about them not going for the win for any of these games just to get a little bit more practice in. And I don't know, you know, it seems like that. I don't want to claim that that's exactly what they're doing, but they seem to be in so many like potential positions to go for this, you know, advantageous spot. And then they kind of just go for the W key. They go for the aggro. They want to go for the eliminations, regardless of what we've seen them play before in Majors 1 and 2, where they're so smart with their height takes. It kind of just seems like they are, once again, testing the waters. They're kind of feeling out the rest of the lobby, and this might be a good way for them to kind of judge how the grand finals are going to play out a little bit.
Yeah, I actually, I've got a little bit of a challenge for this trio here. A little bit of extra credit, if you will, right? Game number 1, 17 eliminations. Game number 3, 18 eliminations. Game number 4, 19 eliminations.
Oh my god.
So, Zeke, what do you think it is that I want in game number 5 in this trio?
Okay, hear me out. We
Don't make
go
it
ahead and get
complicated here.
96.
A victory royale. That's what we need to see from them.
In all seriousness, though, I am curious because, like, obviously, remember, so the 5 trios who get a victory royale, they go through to the grand finals. Okay.
Holy moly, they've got 56 elims in total.
Okay.
That is wow.
At the top so far away, like they're definitely secured themselves a spot.
Yeah.
There's just like no way, right? Like, they're not falling out. But
That's
if they were
crazy.
to get a victory royale in this next game, I feel like that's kind of pulled the leaderboard up. And I would like to see that, right? Because that kind of gives like more people opportunity to like fight for that top 5. You know, especially as we kind of start to flip on over to effectively like what is that bubble, so to speak, right? I mean, it's only a point between like 10 and 11th, right? It's 131 to 130. So like there's some kind of interesting back and forth there. So I feel like it's probably most beneficial that they get the VR here, right? Like that would probably be the best for the lobby.
I think honestly, regardless, they're gonna win. So they either take that VR spot or they take that top 5 spot. I don't think that's actually gonna affect the lobby too much more. But I do think if you look at this like second page, we have so many teams that are within that contention of getting top 10 right now. Violet, TK, and Larson that sit in top 10 are just 130 points, and we know that a victory royale, or even not even a victory royale, but like a top 7 with a handful of eliminations, can just shoot you up the leaderboard. And we have some big names here. We have teams like Day, Jack, and Boji, Sandman 20 and Northern, Power Blue and Xanda, Liam, like all of these huge teams that are within that precipice of making it into that top 10. I don't think, honestly, that Ager's, Acorn, and Pollo have any influence on what's going to go on. They're literally double of second place through placement right now. I think regardless of what they do, the rest of the lobby is just focusing on themselves.
Of course, Acorn, Agers, and Pollo, they're secured, right? But there is way more teams that are not secured than are secure right now, right? Talking about all of the bubble teams.
I think the better question is, which strategy would somebody rather take? Would they rather go ahead and let Pollo and them win it, or should they go for the victory royale? Which way would be most beneficial to that team that's standing up against them at the end game?
It's so awesome and makes game number 5 very scary.
That's true, man. It's time to roll the dice one last time out of group number 1. Who walks away with the victory royale? Let's find out together. For the last time today, casters, take it away.
They say it at the start of the show. Time flies when you're having fun. Already we're at the last game of the day, and Zeke, he hit the nail on the head. 1 point separates a grand finals appearance and having to go through that dreaded LCQ.
Yeah, one might say that if Acorn, Adrian, and Boyo honestly just stay
That's fall.
consistent, it becomes a more competitive lobby. In theory, because they're just going to go ahead and snipe a spot and say, you know what, the 4 next best teams are going to be the ones to go ahead and step up. So at this point, we know they're a shoo-in, and, you know, last game, a lot of teams came up short. Teams that could have honestly broke away with a hefty lead had a really tough game 4. So clearly, there's some lobby adjustment happening here, Jacob.
Yeah, and if any of these teams in or outside of the bubble, if you're that close, go down early in this game, you're literally left watching.
All right, chat. They're jumping up the battle bus.
Game
Game 5, Major 3, NAC Group 1 is coming to a close. The last game, chat. Let's get it. Let's go.
We step onto this group's battle bus. Begins here and now. Game number 5 is kicking off, and you know, I couldn't be more excited.
All right, can we get a Rannick goal, Polio?
For the future group stages. This one right here, definitely, I would say, not riddled with too many surprises. All the teams that have pulled through with Victory Royales were clearly some tier 1 trios kind of coming into the mix. And now that it comes down to the final wire, it really wouldn't surprise me if Boyo, Acorn, and Agers decide, hey, we're gonna have some more fun and secure a 2nd place for good measure.
You know, looking at that drop map, we were talking all day long. The teams that win a game, that opens up their drop spot. Who's brave enough to go over there? Rise, G-Money, and Aviv just won from Outpost. We saw how much space and loot they were able to get, Monster. Not a single team moved over in that direction. So we're going to stay with contested fights off the drop, just like this one. Byla, Larson, and TK going at it yet again, but it's Polo that's able to get the first gun, try to drop into the building. Byla takes a good amount of damage. His teammate is there with the twin fire shotgun. One's going to go down, but it's only going to be a trade, and TK gets the better end of that deal.
And a siphon too. That was probably the most important part of that entire exchange right there. Spear has a shotgun. TK slips out the side. And Spear second guesses himself here and says, you know what? Let's just get the pick up, save my teammate, and allows TK to kind of refresh and recoup himself here. I mean, TK's got a big decision. Jacob, what do you think he does in this situation?
I feel like he just has to hide. He can't even necessarily disengage because we know how crowded the north side of the map is overall. So I feel like almost, if you hear this reboot going off, you might have to try to make a play, but it's a double reboot on top of that. So maybe TK is thinking, get these reboot cards, disengage, and hope for the best.
Yeah, he's got to be quick, though. He's in the room where the cards are, but he had to break through the wall first. There goes the first one. Here they come now. He does have that extra build, but no, gets cut off there. And just like that, TK's run ends. And they did not earn any effective points this game. That'll be GG. Polo Spear and Mav get to honestly fight their way to Victory Royale at this point.
That's just a heartbreaker. We were talking about on the bubble, in the bubble. They were the line. But you're seeing these contested fights throughout the day. Flooded Frogs. It does look like Void's able to get the first jump and the first wipe onto them. And a huge change-up, too, because they finished it rather quickly this game around versus some of the previous games that we've seen today. That's going to allow them to loot up the outskirts and all of this surrounding area from Flooded Frogs that they weren't able to do in previous games.
Void Broken King. Big 3 elims. Saw the highlights. They're comfortably in the 170 range now. You know, they might have done enough to go ahead and also secure a seat on that battle bus to the grand finals. Boyo, Agers, Acorn sticking to the trusty strategy so far. Again, this is all in preparation for the weeks ahead now. They've been, honestly, the entertainment for the night.
I think it might be one of those scenarios because, in theory, based off of drop maps in every Fortnite community analyst, it's going to be them versus Peterbot at Demon's Domain if Peterbot can make it out of the group stages. But you got to realize, going up against a team like that, you can't expect to win every single contested drop. So in order for them to have a shot at winning if they are contested, Monster, it's going to come through high elimination games just like this. So I think it's a perfect strategy they're doing today. Not really trying to win the game, but more so trying to put up those big elimination games for, in theory, closing the gap if it was finals.
Gotta close that gap here. Game 5 of 5. Once again, this is the last opportunity now. Any team in this lobby still has a chance to go to grand finals through the Victory Royale format. For everyone else you're seeing with 100+ points, they just need to stay consistent into the end game. Big fight happening here. Power Blue and Xanda, their whole tournament on the line here and now. Let's see it go down.
Oh, that was a big one right there for Power to win it. Trades the shots, but he gets the better end of it. Gonna be the first elimination being acquired so far. 3v2 gonna play out the rest of the way, and Blue is trying to keep it that way. But he's getting jumped on, trying to make space. You see him using so much material to try to get back to his teammates. And as soon as they get this opportunity to get in the same box hip to hip, they're gonna slow it down, take it one step at a time, and hopefully try to finish up this fight. Up they go. Power's returning back. He's trying to get the high ground. He's getting that pressure on Smoss and Electro, but he's playing safe. They're going to go ahead and use that misform to try to reclaim the high ground, but they're separated. They're duos. That puts them in a pushable spot in this 3v2.
But it's a matter of time. Big tag there for Blue. Nicely done for him. Toads up the opponent. Finds the big healthy shot on Electro. And take it all the way to the sky here. Just tossing him some time and mats, but... Oh, he's trying to axe him. Oh, and then blocks him out. Wait a second. Okay. Even interesting for us at this point.
It almost looked like he was trying to body block him into the corner.
Yeah, he was trolling. He was holding him right there, and then he backed up and blocked him. Not gonna lie, that was almost a super nasty clip, but he ends up being the one pump instead.
And I feel like I didn't make too many predictions coming into this group stage, but I was like, Power, Blue, Xanda, they've been consistent, especially Power throughout these past couple seasons, making at least one of the major finals on 2 different rosters. So I kind of predicted them to make it. I didn't think it was going to be this close. Sandman 20 and Northern, another team I thought would find success here today, especially since they're uncontested at Supernova Academy, which most of the competitive community thinks of this as the #1 drop spot in the game. Outside of Demon Slayer.
Look at this messy fight going down right here. 3v3, but
They literally have Clicks, Tiggs, and Iamzo in Group 2. But yeah, you got Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual in Group 3, chat. Come on, can we at least have a standoff between the 2 of them in one group?
Not out the running just yet.
Especially if, any of these teams at the top of the leaderboard open up a spot inside of the top 5, give them that much more of a chance. But I think they're looking about 50 points, so around maybe a top 5 or something, depending on how many eliminations they're able to accumulate as well. Xanda, Blue, Power, continuing to rotate, trying to find eliminations. It almost seems like this team is trying to take control over their own destiny by picking up these eliminations, trying to bypass some of these players in towards the zone so that way they can hold them out, rather than just kind of sitting in a surge tower and letting the game pass you by.
I'm looking ready forward to the end game here. Xanda, Blue, and Power kind of set themselves up for all the damage they need.
The Drizzy, Liam, Madden. We're towards the north side of the map, just outside of Pump Power and Supernova Academy. A lot of teams going to try to use this to kind of rotate in from the north side of the map. Instead of just straight going in from the west
This
side.
is the watch party for FNCS Major 3 North America Central Group 1.
And the Misform Monster.
This is whoever wins in the matches. Each match are automatic advancements into the finals.
If you're a fan of this team, they will be able to heal up. They will be able
And
to get into
this is actually we're in the last game, and Pollo is still playing.
Silicon Havoc.
Oh, okay. I have to check that out whenever this match ends. Yeah, Clicks in Canada. They're in Group 2. They'll be tomorrow. I think that's 27, 26, 26, I think. And then they got another Group 3, which is where Pollo or Peterbot's in. Appreciate it, man.
Fight for their first grand finals. everyone who's kind of punched their way through.
Everybody else that's hanging out in chat, make sure you put a W in chat for Studio. He has been helping us out with a lot of his edits. He's been helping us get some videos put together for shorts and stuff. He's been a great help, y'all.
He's someone that does like to get aggressive. He can get a little PC. Just needs a little bit more of that experience under their belt. And right now, they're inside of that bubble at 141 points. And so far, they have priority in terms of being able to rotate in towards the zone. The rest of the map, the north, the western edge, and even some of those teams that would rotate from the south have not caught up just yet. So this is going to be the best shot that they have to try to aim for one of those mountain ranges and set up.
Shout out to the 7 y'all hanging out here in chat. Thank y'all for hanging out. Make sure y'all don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. We're having a gift card giveaway. Fortnite gift card giveaway. Well, really an epic gift card. But giving away that on Saturday.
Points were required to qualify through consistency last season. Very, very similar on EU as well. I think it was around 189 points today. That's kind of the threshold. It shouldn't be the overall goal that you're looking to end, but you got to try to aim as close to that, if not more. There's a lot of teams continuing to rotate through the north, passing Utopia, just trying to get in towards zone. But both Boji and even Boogeyman taking a lot of damage there, having to pause their rotation.
Azers, Acorn, and Polio, though, hunting once again here. Going to live up to the request for the 20 bomb. Oh, no, it's on to Aiden. This is bad. Oh, Moya with the box up right there, but he gets tagged instead. Aiden Hound, Curlian on the move here. 141 points. This is their tournament run, and what do you do when you have Moya pushing you like this? Just tough situation all around. Northern EXE, another very good trio sitting nearby, watching it all go down. They get gifted and rewarded, and now it's not looking too good for Boyo.
They even stole that elimination point away from Koyo. Northern them, they try to close the gap, but the rest of the team is there. Agers joining in on the fun, pushing them back. Sandman got the memo. He said, nope, you guys are right. Maybe we shouldn't take this one. The Agers, I think the full team doesn't want to let any of these eliminations escape, especially since as of now, Monster, they're kind of isolated away from every other team at the current moment.
Agers, Acorn, Boyo. Just doing what they need to do. Go ahead and run the lobby here. Already at S rank as well. That's a lot of damage.
This is what I was thinking. I'm gonna say, hold on, how? They really took advantage of their drop spot, you know, taking down the Daigo boss. You get experience from that, the eliminations along the way. If they activated the Spire Shrines, and then they're taking down the Shrine boss as well for even more experience. I don't know, Monster. Maybe 6 zone, they should be S+, fully ranked out.
Yeah, that's crazy, though. Get it this early in the game.
Did see Avenger pick up an elimination throughout the course of the past couple of seconds. Vixie as well. That's going to be the cleanup on the Knave, so they're going to solidify that one. Broken, Void King, 176 points. For them, they essentially started in second place coming into this game on that consistency leaderboard, and they're at 176 points. So even though they're not in that point threshold, we're looking to kind of claim players and teams would be safe, but they are so close. A couple more eliminations, surviving, I think, maybe even just to the top 12. They don't need a massive game by any means, but they need a game that's just good enough to get across that hump.
This is it right here for some. Luke, Panda, Venox have a team coming up quickly behind them. They're going to rotate out instead of taking any kind of friction here, any fight.
Broken getting another one. Liam getting one. They're just focusing on their rotation here, refarming all along the way. I think by now, a bunch of teams have realized the position that they're in. They played 4 straight games out. If they're not in the bubble yet, they realize not their entire FNCS by any means, because there still is the last chance qualifier, But the last chance qualifier is a very, very similar format, except no consistency. 3 games, win and you're in, and that's even if you make it to a finals lobby for your region's qualifier, because you still have to go through the open portion where there's Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3 all playing in the same tournament.
Look at this. Little update for Hound and Carillion. As we saw what happened, they got keyed just by Acorn, Aegis, and Pollo, and then again, Northern's team kind of came in, but they're coming back to kind of finish what they started. Remember, they also lost a teammate here too, right? So this is very interesting as far as the overall story is concerned, but no, trying to target the teammate out the sky. They do get him. Oh, tough one to deal with here and now.
Not even just the knock, it was the actual elimination. So they have to wait for the reboot van to recharge before they even make an attempt at it yet again. But Carillion has different things in mind. He's just trying to create distance between him and that team, go deeper, maybe even towards Supernova Academy, and that's going to be the best chance to try to get the reboot. And if they upgraded enough, you can kind of see it in the mini-map as well. They do have those hero chests if they have the rank to access them, which will give them a good amount of loot, nice amount of heals to try to get back into the zone.
Yeah, Northern and Sandman at that A rank have nothing to worry about here. That passive regen, obviously keeping them up, so definitely having a much better game of the two.
Dang. 1,078 above threshold. Nice.
And Gray, 144 points. That's how they started this game inside of the bubble. And you're seeing 2 wildly different approaches from some of these teams. Others trying to close that point gap through getting eliminations. And then the rest of the teams are just trying to play that calm, cool, collected, fly under the radar, survive, let placement do its thing, and let those eliminations naturally present themselves throughout the course of the game. Pollo just getting aggressive from one team to another. He doesn't care who's in his line of sight. He just wants to fight him. That's Turbulence, that's T, that's 8 men that are trying to disengage towards that low ground. But Pollo was just hot on their heels, following them every step of the way.
Good push right here, and again, they're just so far ahead of the rest. They're ending tournament runs back-to-back at this rate. And then into the storm. Hunting down Turbulence.
I feel like I've seen this before, chat.
Even with the misform, they try to cone him up there, but he manages to slip out. Pollo's on his heels, though. Reminder, there is a cooldown, so he cannot spam it. Dashes as well to cut this player off, and this is all she wrote. There goes the box up there. Comes Acorn here shortly. No, Acorn, they want to chase the other team. This is all Pollo.
Yeah, this is Turbulence. You may not necessarily know, but this is his best chance at being able to take this fight in a 1v1. Amen's just trying to disengage. Going right on up, but that's just going to expose himself to the shots of Agers. He's going to be able to get the knock onto that one, which puts a lot more pressure onto Turbulence than he had literally seconds ago as the last one alive on his team. Tournament is literally on the line. If you don't want to go to the LCQ, Turbulence, now is your chance.
That was pretty intense. Pollo trying to wait till the last second for the siphon, but Turbulence manages to defend himself well, just well enough to force the med mist to come out. Aegis comes back to back him up, and I'm sure they're talking about that in comms. What all just happened there? How could you not get that finish? But it's all good. They live to see another day. There's the points. Racking up now for Void, Broken, and King. Saw the stat from before. 194 was that point area, the threshold you had to get to just last season. He's starting to close in.
Honestly, at this point in the game, Monster, if I see that medallion on my mini-map, I am going the whole opposite direction. My tournament's on the line, especially for a team like this. Sandman, 20, and Northern. They're so close to Acorn, Agers, and Pollo. Kind of staggered out their rotation for a little bit, let them disengage on out before they start to move forward. Even with another team there, at least it's not them. But this is Carillion, Hound, and Aiden, who also need to have a certain performance here to lock in their spot for the grand finals, but they're only 86 above the damage threshold. That's not a full feeling of confidence by any means, especially since so many teams are now focusing in your direction. Basically calling it a firing squad, trying to get any bit of damage and hopefully a down.
They need it. Look, Southern Pool now. Another big rotate for them. Dashes are going to go ahead and give them a chance to, you know, obviously make a big move here. Luckily, there's not too many teams kind of lurking about, so you might not even need to really depend on the dashes here. Sandman's team obviously got their pickup, so they're kind of back in the running here. Oh, that team's on the surge right now.
Yeah, Hound and them may not necessarily see it because you don't see the strikes that your opponents are getting Storm Surge, but you will hear the shield crack if you are close enough, which is a huge giveaway if nobody's kind of shooting in that direction of what they're going through at any given moment. But Hound, trio, 300 above the damage threshold. It's not necessarily a worry for them, so they're just going to continue to rotate in. As Pollo ages Acorn, they take notice of the lobby. They fire off in that direction, but it's only a momentary focus from the lobby. They're going to be able to survive, clean up that elimination, and continue to hunt for more.
6 elims already. Plenty of material here to play for high ground if they want to.
Power's down. I think somebody else got knocked around here as well from a whole nother team. Blue's on there trying to save the day. Hound's trying to get in with the dashes, and he does. Catches Blue off guard. Had him looking lost there for a moment. As Hound, Aiden Curly get very much needed damage, and even more so the eliminations for the resources. A pick-me-up opportunity as Void's trying to run away. He's got Ager's Pollo just hunting him down on the side from one team to the next. As soon as they see somebody move Monster, they are just W-keying their way in.
That's how you gotta play it though. If you're Ager's Acorn, Pollo, I mean, they got nothing to lose, clearly. They've been packing up these lobbies left and right now. They're just continuing to flex their way through the low ground. Again, this is, if anything, a showing of how they're trying to prepare for grand finals now. They could be playing for height if they wanted to, but kind of putting themselves in these more desperate situations now as a means to practice, it seems. Now, though, Agers low on mats here, forcing the split from the teammates. Sandman, 20 and Northern trying to battle their way out from the trenches as well. Top 17 here. Plenty of elims for them as well, but the mats so low here. They will need a refresh here. Nothing yet.
This is the point in the game. Top 17 placement points have just started to accumulate, and it's going to cascade with every full team that does go down, making this one of the most important parts of the game for a team like Sandman 20 and Northern. They started this game, I believe, outside of that bubble, but since then, they're climbing their way in towards it, inside of the top 5. If not, that victory royale in the final game of the day is going to be the goal for a lot of these teams. Hound, Carillion, Aiden. Step by step throughout the course, we've seen them below surge, and now they're 263 above the damage threshold with the singular elimination, making sure to calculate every single one of their pushes.
Who's next? Agers, Pollo, Acorn, still hunting. Looking around, they find Boji. Uh-oh, not looking good for young Boji. He's out to the side, though. He manages to escape. Quick dash, combined a little bit of time. Day there, chipping away from the Storm's edge. Meanwhile, Void, Broken, and King holding on to their tournament's kind of position. The front side rotate, get underneath the crevice. They're just waiting for the zone to go ahead and move. At this point, most players are just trying to avoid Pollo, Agers, and Acorn's aggression.
Yeah, even if it means leaving your teammate out to dry, which we've seen a few times before. And already, Monster, we've seen a 2nd place, a 3rd place, a 5th place out of them, and they have their eyes in the clouds. It almost looks like they're going for a high ground. Maybe we can get the first. I know other players in the lobby are hoping for it as well. Sandman, 20 and Northern find another elimination onto Minty. 830 damage above the threshold. They're trying to walk their way across that finish line, but it just got harder for Broken and King. Void goes down. They're inside the bubble for now, but how long can they hold on to it?
I mean, you stay long, it seems like they're trying to crawl their way there. They have no mats to work with. Plenty of elims, though. They've earned so much, but it is so desperate of a situation to be in when you don't have mats to work with, and that's why Northern...
I went Northern.
20 now. All up to him. Pressure's on him to go ahead and perform here. 10 elims, finds Hound. Trying to look for revenge here and now. Gonna block this out. 2 players are there waiting. Doesn't even close his edit from behind. This is just a lot to deal with here. Another team above him as well. From Hound's perspective and Carillion, though, they're in the same boat. Only 162 points. not much you can do here. Shots coming in from the side. Those wood walls fall too fast. Carillion living off the siphon here. Finds a surf cube. I mean, you might as well pull it out. What can you do here? Boji behind in the storm. Nice knock. Has to get the finish. Crawls behind a wall. Oh, denied in the end. The siphon that would have kept them in the game.
That is just a disaster. A turn of events I would have not expected at this point. Preston getting chunked out by the zone, tries to make his way in, but he gets cut short of that top A. But Power is on to the last game of the day. They're trying to make it count, even without Blue in sight. It was a sacrifice Blue made to make sure Power can stay in this game. They have 6 eliminations so far. Storm Surge, not a worry in their mind. They just need to be able to finish this game out, maybe even a top 5. Days sealing the same thing, but with no builds, no teammates. It's a much different road for him.
Oh, but he's got 2 med kits. Okay, he's got plays that other teams don't have the luxury for, but no. A shot comes in, gets his med kit, buys himself a little second, finds Boyo on the side there. Yeah, don't want to deal with that one at all, but the clock is ticking. Chung Jung in front of him. Player as well.
Ooh.
No, couldn't get the
Good try.
denied in the final moments there, and that might just be enough to end his run now. Power Blue and Zonda still earning points here. They're one of the few teams breaking away with the top 5 lead here, but I do think they need a little bit more. Who could be clutching up the moments? Nope. Zonda ends that one as well, and Jacob, we're seeing a run for Zonda Blue and Power that's going to send them the grands here.
You said a little bit more. How's that for you, Monster? But Broken and King go down. Hopefully their points are going to be enough. Poyo, Agers, Acorn, they're on the high ground. They have more than enough eliminations. They already have their spot secured, but it's all about a victory lap. As Power and Zonda, they're feeling the pressure down below. There's only one more team left alive in this game, and it's a full duo that's trying to hide underneath, but Zonda finds him. That's Boogie who gets found out. Another elimination, and a crucial one at that, but Zonda's going to fall. Avenger is trying to get revenge for his teammate going down, but they're all going to fall. Poyo, Acorn, and Agers, a 3v2 situation. The misform, they're trying to go up, they're trying to steal away the high ground. Avengers being a distraction down below. He takes a massive shot before finally being dropped down by Agers. 3v1 situation.
Hey! We got it at the end. Let's go! Finally with that victory royale to end off the game 5. That's what I'm talking about. What a major 3 group 1 chat. What's up, TT? How you doing, man?
Just kind of opened up itself on the overall consistency standing. We'll just have to see in a couple moments, but Agers, Boyo, and Acorn, they do it once again, Jacob, in spectacular fashion. They really have been one of the more standout teams here for this group stage. And
now let's see who's the 5 that are the shoe-in.
Can have these big elimination games time and time again. Vivid set a 17, an 18, a 19. They fall short of the 20 mark, but they got the victory royale. And this is a team, as we continue the story of their journey, will have to do just this if they are going to be contested at Demon's Domain.
Yeah, just a highlight reel for them. And again, a lot of practice coming out of that Demon's Domain drop for them, staying true to their, of course, strategy here. Agers, Acorn, and Poyo, I mean, we had no doubts. We knew they were going to win a game. It was just a matter of when, and they were the ones who determined that, Jacob.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting story. You know, I'm looking at the leaderboard before the game started. It was 1 point differential between making that grand finals and going to the LCQ, Monster. And I almost just right now trying to figure out what happened. A bunch of teams inside of the bubble went down early. Others pulled off a big game. But that's going to do it for myself and Monster D-Face for Group 1. We'll see you guys next week. But Zeke, Kelly, and Vivid, who is going to finals?
Who's going, chat? Who's going?
I'll tell you in just a moment, Jacob. First, a moment of silence.
See you later.
Seeing as Agers, Acorn, Poyo, they did not get Vivid his 20 elimination victory royale, which would have just been a really nice way to round. No, obviously it would have been cool because the stats would have been a really nice looking stats for that. But for this trio, I mean, guys.
They popped off. They had over 60 elims this whole entire major 3.
Right? Like, how many games, you know,
they popped off, chat.
Amount of points were like, okay, yeah, they're in, you know, might as well just get that VR in the last game to really just show, like, hey guys, you know, we were in control the whole time. And again, in my head canon, it's just they're practicing, right, Kelly? That's all this is. It's just extra practice time.
The question is, who's the five that are the shoe-ins?
So they want to be on the top of the leaderboard, right? But when you win the first game, you're in 5th place on the leaderboard. So by playing all 5 games and then getting the victory royale, they are going to be first place out of group number 1. So I think that's the strategy they're going with, Vivid. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. Whatever it is, I think at the end of the day, the only thing I'm really taking away from this is that today as a whole,
74 limbs. Holy moly, chat. That is wow.
Like they kind of came in
1,367 total points.
We're a really good trio this season, and I mean, wow. The performance that they kind of put on, obviously we can't watch them throughout all like 25, 26 minutes of the game, but every single time we kind of tuned in, it seemed like there was some sort of highlight going on. Just an incredible trio.
74 eliminations. 74 eliminations, guys.
Like, no. It's more than double of the next team. Like, it's ridiculous.
It is actually well over more than double.
Congratulations to the trio. Obviously, now I'm sure they're just thinking about one thing. Peterbot on the other end. Are we going to look to contest them? Are we going to look to try and fight them? Like, we're already qualified.
Peterbot's in Group 3.
Just send it. I am not shocked or surprised. I don't think you should be either as a viewer, right? I mean, they get the last victory. They have a ton of limbs and points. Wow. Let's remind ourselves, though. Maybe you tuned in and you missed most of the games or a couple of the games. Here are the trios that won throughout the game.
Oliver Dahl, Blake, and Diego, Taki, Isho, and Bert, Booga, Threats, and Craze, Cheese, or my bad, Aviv, Money, and Rise, Azures, Acorn, and Polio are the 5-team winners.
These were kind of some of the names we were highlighting throughout the top of the show, and
so they're automatic. Who's the shoe-ins?
Yeah, no, these are exactly the trios that we kind of expected to perform very well, and that's kind of one of the, I feel like one of the benefits of going through these play-in stages where we find the top 99 and then going into the group stages. I know that there's a lot of people that might have some question marks on how these formats are run, but I really do think that it kind of benefits the top teams. We want to make sure that all of our big trios are making it into these grand finals because that's where they can punch their ticket into the global championships, and we want to make sure that everyone has these opportunities to be able to showcase themselves and prove that they are worthy of being there. And by doing these group stages, I really feel like we're able to kind of like filter out who the top teams are, and then we get to watch them in the grand finals in a few weeks.
Yeah, our microphone echoing.
Speaking about grand finals, of course, the Victory Royale winners aren't the only ones going through. The big question mark is who went ahead and secured the consistency leaderboard.
So Void, Broken, King-a-Ling, Power, Void, and Xanda, Aiden, Carillion, and Hound, Core, Master, Oasis, Monster,
something interesting to call out, and maybe
Drizzy, and Madden.
Standings here.
Those are the shoe-ins.
Like that 5th place was actually beaten out by 1 point.
Oh my god.
They beat out Day, Jack, and Boji, who had 165
Bang.
a single point difference. And even if you look at like 3rd and 4th, right? Just look, there's a tiebreaker there. And like obviously like the tiebreaker in this situation like doesn't matter. Just think,
oh my word.
3 points.
62 is what double the eliminations for second place.
So, like, obviously,
holy moly, that's crazy.
Like, yeah, they were being all flashy and they were putting on this show for us, but like for all of these other trios, they were fighting tooth and nail, and it was constantly going back and forth on these standings all the way up to the very end. And so, I mean, that's like exciting, right? Like to not know by the end who's gonna make it through. Like it was a crazy day of Fortnite.
I mean, even going all the way down to 17th place with Crackley's team, where they were just, 35 plus points away from reaching that, just shows that's what, a handful of eliminations and not even a top 5 performance. It shows how competitive the North American region is, just how close this competition can be. And I mean, we still have 2 more group stages to go, Vivid. Is this going to be the same story for them, where these kind of big teams are going to just fall just so short?
Yeah, I mean, the group stages, they have always been very, very close. Would not be surprised to see that in groups 2 and group 3.
Yeah, Thomas HD. I'm
Guys,
going to take a look at what happened with Thomas HD.
obviously game number
They're not even
one,
shoe-ins.
A little victory royale from none other than Blake, who was alongside Oliver, OG, and Diego Plays. And Blake is going to hang out with us right now for an interview. Blake, what's up, dude? It's so good
We're going
to
to
see
stop
you.
out the interview.
How you doing? I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped.
Hear it.
Bro, I'm
But
hyped
here
for
is
you,
the
dude.
schedule,
Congratulations
and this
on the
is what
first
we're gonna
game.
try.
You-
Just
I feel
we're gonna
like
try
you've
to
been
be here
using
for
it
group
since the beginning
2
of
on the
Fortnite.
26th.
Did you just see, like, the waves
So our
of
next
support that you
time
get?
running
Like,
this
you know,
FNCS
you
Major
step away
3,
and then you come back
our
and
goal
you're
will be
still firing on all cylinders.
26.
Like, how does it feel?
All right, so
Like, how does that feel to you?
I mean, for me, I kind of knew today we were going to qualify because if you look at my track.
all right, chat. I hope y'all enjoyed today's stream. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, subscribe, and alert button, because Saturday we will be doing a gift card giveaway. It's a $15 gift card. You'll be able to get. Let's see. Hold on. Let me sort it out. You'll be able to get this skin right here for free with the $15 gift card, as well as, you know, your V-Bucks or whatever cosmetic you want to buy through Epic. So come join us for that. That's going to be a good old hide and seek. But other than that, y'all take care. God bless, and we'll catch y'all all in the next one. Peace out. God bless.